Hey, what's up, everyone? Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis Podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. And guess what? What an awesome conversation and topic we have got today. Mr. Will Duffy being desperate, as always, to prove his fake globe, but he has nowhere to go, right? Starting with the final experiment, 24-hour sun, right? More fake, more fake than like the landings, the moon landings, all right, and their Mars projects, right? Mars project, more fake than that. Even though people want to believe it, but it's impossible, right? The 24-hour sun. Then we also had Mr. Will Duffy having a reunion with the fake pilot, where we did 2 episodes and destroying their buffoonery, right?
Yep.
Piece by piece, right? So anyway, today we are here to discuss his another absurdity and desperation to prove his fake globe with his weight variation, right? It just helps our community see, like, they just want to take out things from the thin air, right? And make people believe that the earth is spinning and the earth is a globe and all that bullshit, right? So he wants to put this all thing in a one pack, right? So we have already uh, debunked his most of his 24-hour sun and the pilot shit, right? So tonight we'll go into this. So get your popcorn, coffee, tea, milk, whatever makes you comfortable. And yeah, let's jump into this topic. But before I introduce my co-host, I want to give a quick shout out to our brother Ironworks 92,000 brothers. Thank you for the super chat. And yes, we are waiting for you here that you're here on the panel. Yeah, we'd love to discuss some things, right? Absolutely. So yeah, let's say hello to our brother Gene. Gene, how are you?
Hey Vikka, what's up, brother? Doing good, bro. So yeah, we're doing the weight difference today. That's a good one. I think it's 1 pound for every 100 pounds difference between the equator and the poles. And they say that is because at the equator you're so much higher than the center of the earth, the center of the globe, that you weigh less, which is that's crazy. So this is gonna be a good one. So yeah, hi everybody in the chat. I'm having a good time already with everybody. Hi everybody, welcome. Um, so yeah, Vika, let's do it, brother.
Oh yeah, let's jump into it. Let's say hello to Tron too. Tron, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Doing fine. Glad to be here. I don't know how long I can stay, but I did want to come up for a little bit, so I can stay for a little bit here, guys. So thanks for bringing me up. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Oh
Sean.
yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah, we even didn't want it to stretch tonight a lot. So whoever the panelists are gonna come, make sure that we don't want to stretch it a lot tonight, because we do want to run through a few things with Mr. Will Duffy's Narnia and what he thinks are possible. So absolutely. Oh yeah. So before we do that, I'm just gonna play one moment. Yeah, a second video file ready.
Reason why all the ancients used to wear copper. First of all, before I tell you, you must understand the meridians of the human body. So your body has these meridian lines. It's basically how electrical energy flows through the body through these lines and gives energy to these specific organs and places within your body. Now copper, the atoms of copper vibrate very highly and they give off a lot of etheric energy. So by wearing copper around these meridian lines enhances the flow of energy within your body, okay? So let's say you have a joint pain in your wrist, you'd wear a copper, bracelet, and this will enhance the energy flow and give energy to these bones and meridians, which will help rejuvenate the wrist. Or you can just wear them in general to increase the flow of electrical energy within your body and sync up with a higher consciousness.
Alrighty, so if anybody wants to get one, you can find the link in the description, and we're gonna also share the links in the chat. And also, if you also want to support Gene too, you got his link too in the description. He makes some amazing frames with moons and awesome stuff too. So yeah, you have both the links in the description. And yes, let's get into it, Mr. Will Duffy. What you have got?
Welcome to the final experiments. The final experiments are a preponderance of evidence against flat Earth. And the final experiments all confirm the globe. These experiments were all conducted in December of 2024 when 4 flat earthers and 4 globers went on a journey to Antarctica with me, Will Duffy. We spent time in Punta Arenas, Chile, which is at the southern tip of South America, before flying to Antarctica. This entire trip allowed us to conduct historic experiments and collect data firsthand from an area of the world that few people will ever have the opportunity to visit and do this themselves. Prior to my announcement of the final experiment in early 2024, a vast majority of flat earthers, with very few exceptions, promoted the Gleason's map of the world, which is an azimuthal equidistant projection. This map had the North Pole at the center and pushed the South to the outer perimeter of the known world. This made Antarctica an ice wall perimeter around all the world's continents, which served to hold in all the world's oceans, as flat earthers claim water must have a container.
Oh yeah, here he's trying to, with the AE map, right? In a way, also saying that the globe, the flat Earth map comes from the globe. We're gonna prove him freaking wrong, that how wrong he is.
It also extends the entire southern
And yeah, stop me anytime you guys want to add something. Yep.
hemisphere into a larger and larger area, where on the globe, everything's...
Well,
Well,
oh yeah,
like
RG. Yeah,
like,
one second. Yeah, one second. RG, your link is in your Telegram, right? And same goes for Vlad. Alrighty, go ahead.
I was going to say, flat earthers, we're not making up or claiming that water needs a container. That is a science fact. We're not making it up. We are just putting it out there. Water needs a container. So he's kind of misleading already. We're not saying it like it's something flat earth created. It's just science. It's just reality. Okay.
Oh yeah.
south of the equator gets closer and closer together. This made being at the southern tip of South America and in Antarctica the perfect place to test flat Earth claims and also confirm the globe predictions. Every single flat Earth claim failed. Every flat Earth prediction was demonstrably false. The final experiments are meant to be taken collectively, just like evidence in a court of law.
Oh yeah, if he's so confident that he's got something so scientific, why the hell are you not applying for the Nobel Prize, Mr. Will Duffy?
Shouldn't people be running down there and to reconfirm it? You got 10 people, right? Shouldn't there be like confirmation and then another confirmation and then another confirmation, you know, and continuous? They go down and whatever they claim they saw or didn't see, all of a sudden, end of story. What a bunch of crap already. I'm already disgusted.
Yeah, it feels like it's their fake trip has just like overturned the scientific understanding, right? And like, where is the data other than manipulation and CGI and trickery and
we don't got
and fakery
and how about some confirmation? How about like a lot of confirmation? You know, it's really the guy. I don't know what to say. Obviously, they're making him do it. So whatever.
Undoubtedly, flat earthers will attempt to discredit individual experiments we did while at the same time ignoring the rest. If they cannot provide an accurate map of the world and a working model that can account for
Hey, slow
An
down with that. Huh?
accurate, guys, an accurate map of the world. Guys, we all know which came first,
Yeah.
right? Accurate or not accurate, or what shape, flat or round, we all know which map came first.
Yep.
Yeah, dozens and dozens of flat Earth maps. The
And
accuracy
thousands
is
of years
debatable.
of difference, right? In comparison with globe, right? So
Yeah.
who the hell made it that this is right or that is wrong, right? If the globe is a new kid on the block, I think even 500 is too many years to give. I think it's not even 200 years, right? Maybe the idea, right? So how the hell, when the people say that the AE map comes from the globe, how the hell is going to happen, right? If flat Earth was already there before the idea of the globe also came into existence, right? So how the hell can a flat map come from a globe? And these people, just because they think they go to Antarctica, they have just destroyed, and now their globe is all right. And right, come on, just check the history. Go ask Chat GPT which model is an older model. Anyway, anybody from the chat who wants to join us on the panel, let us know. We will try to send you the link.
for the results of all of these final experiments collectively, that is because we do not live on a flat earth. If they try to say these experiments are not actual experiments, but only observations, that is because they cannot reconcile our findings with a flat earth. If they say that flat earth does not make predictions, that is because making accurate and testable
Flat Earth does not make predictions. How the hell was all these ancient civilizations who were much more advanced in astroarchaeology and archaeology and every science you could freaking imagine? How the hell was the science done before the heliocentric model came into? What bullshit he's speaking about? Predictions, right?
Yep. Yep. It's all crap. So far, I'm already. He's just talking a bunch of garbage. You know, we know that. So sure of himself.
Oh yeah, and providing nothing.
Nothing. No evidence. No nothing.
Well, you know, the school system that he got this from is where he got that overinflated ego and is overconfident.
predictions based on a flat earth is impossible because a flat earth does not exist. You can't
Flat Earth does not exist, right? The one who needs to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
He's not even believable. He's trying so hard to try to put his narrative across. I don't think people are going to believe this guy because he just doesn't look or sound believable, period. You know, and which we know he's not. He's full of it, but I don't see anything that seems too convincing to me. You know, so far, nothing.
Well, he's a pastor. He should be trustworthy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a pastor doing science, right?
Oh my God. Well, he said it himself. Lying is okay, you know. So you know.
Yeah, he even said the Bible says that lying is okay.
Apparently, yeah. He couldn't find anywhere in there that you couldn't lie. Whatever. I don't know where he's getting that from.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Shout out to Lowry. Lowry, if you want to join in on the panel, let us know, brother. We'll send you the link.
Cannot make and test predictions based on something that is not real. Maps of the globe exist because the globe exists.
What a freaking joke.
So flat Earth maps exist because the flat Earth exists. Right? I mean, what's the difference?
Oh, yeah, you heard him. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, they think that the globe is accurate. That's pretty funny. They don't know.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Brother, Ironworks, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, Vikka panel, what's happening? I appreciate you for bringing me on. Tron, what's happening? Gene edited, what's going on? How you
We're
guys
doing
doing?
well.
Hopefully all is well. All right, all right. Hey,
All
wanted
good.
all right, all right. Hey, man, wanted to shout you out, Tron, for pointing that out. Last week, I wanted to get back on. Reception was just terrible between here and there. I was going through, and I don't want to get you guys off of topic. I want you guys to get back on, but I wanted to say this real quick. I went through the parallax story, the book. Yo, just like you said, I didn't find it. I didn't find anything that said there was
Not
a
there.
24-hour sun. I didn't see it.
He was against it. He was against it just like Alex Gleason was. So I know people are saying that crap. The Globies are saying that. It's not true. It's not true. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I looked after you said that. I didn't see it. This is something I've been giving everybody on my channel the link. I've done that before, but I didn't see it.
It's not. They're putting out false information. They're lying, just like they're lying about a bunch of stuff. And it's all going to come out. It's all going to come out. It's all.
There's some echo. Yep.
Was it me?
Go ahead. No, you're good, Tron. Go ahead.
Okay, man.
Go ahead, Tron.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I know that Iron had to drop, and I know he said so. That's why I spoke up last week. I was like, I don't think it's there because, I mean, I'm positive it's not there because I've heard this lie being told early on about Samuel Robothon and in his book, Zetetic Astronomy. He did not believe in the 24-hour sun, and everything in everything he wrote, it's quite apparent that he did not think that one was even possible. Just like in the South, just like Alex Gleason was the same way.
It's logical. It's very logical, Tron, right? To have that 24-hour sun, what these people are claiming, there has to be a pole at a particular place for the sun to do that, right? The sun is just not going to go in circle somewhere if there's not any electromagnetic fields are like converging, like in the North Pole. That's sun, apparent sun, no sun. Like it has to. That is the difference, right? And this is where they want, because that's their main argument that proves the globe is that there is a South Pole and there is a sun going around that South Pole. That's their main argument, right? And if Gleason and Zetetic people, these people were against the 24-hour sun because it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It couldn't. Not based on thousands of years of the heavens being mapped out. They knew where everything was, where it was going to be and everything. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. But these guys are running out of ways to prove us wrong. They think they found something, but what about everything else? I mean, they just want to ignore everything. This mountain of evidence over here, and no one's believing them. So I don't know what this Duffy guy is doing. I don't know what's motivating him, but it's not the truth. I can tell you that. He ain't motivated by no truth. So I don't know what's happening with this weirdo.
I love how he uses our talking points too. I love how he uses, you can't model anything that's fake. I'm like, that's what we've always said. Why are you using our stuff?
Yeah, that's what we say, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't.
Oh yeah, it just shows that this guy is freaking lying, right? This guy is freaking lying
It
straight up.
certainly seems like he's making stuff up, as in, not telling the truth. So I don't know what's going on with him or what's motivating him, but I don't think the truth is motivating him. You know what I'm saying? Something else is motivating him. So I don't know what it is.
So what it also means that anyone who's pushing that there is a 24 hours in Antarctica, you guys know, I don't need to say it.
You broke up, Vikka. You broke up a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay. So what I mean is whoever, including this guy or whoever, is trying to tell us and push on us that there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is lying. Whoever.
Yeah, if they definitively say it, like they know, then they're deceived, because we have not one shred of evidence except these so-called yahoos that went down there. Prior to that, there's not anything anywhere that I'm aware of. And
oh yeah, and you guys are confirming it. You and Ironworks are confirming here that these guys, who are like, we could call the forefathers of flat earthers.
Absolutely.
For sure there might be other generations before these people from where these people got the information. So it's all been passed down. So it's kind of forefathers of flat earth saying it's not possible. And today in this age, we have a bunch of clowns going there and wanting us to believe that there is a 24-hour sun. Are liars.
It certainly seems like that. I hate to say it. Or now, maybe they went and saw something, and they did, and they were tricked or deceived or something like that. But I don't see how it could work at all. Not on what we know. And certainly nobody else has said anything. Where's all these massive piles of evidence, about that we're supposed to have? I don't see anything. Where's it at?
yeah, and even an airplane ticket. I don't know if they went or not or didn't. I first off, shout out to Tron, because like after I'd mentioned that we were told that there was a 24-hour sun from Z, right? I'm not trying to crap on anybody. Like, he was instantly like, hey man, I went through that book and I didn't see it. So it wasn't addressed. Thank you, Tron, for like pointing that out and then making me have to go back and like do my homework, do my due diligence. This is so important.
Well, that
what I'm saying?
I wasn't doing that. I didn't mean that as an attack. I'm just was throwing it out there for you to take a look. That's all I was saying.
Oh no! I don't think you did that as an attack at all. No, not at all. And I'm just saying, like, seriously, no shit. Thank you for making me double back and look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Because I gave it to my audience. I wanted them to take a look at it. Maybe they're, and my thing is, if there's a source that's being used, I want everybody to look at it, and maybe there's something that we can all learn from it. And I don't want it to all fall on just one person's shoulders.
Right. What our detractors are doing, and the globies and the anti-flat earthers and all that, and our resistance, they're going in and taking this old stuff and they're digging stuff out and putting it out there, because frankly, other than yourself and myself and a few others, people don't even know. A lot of people maybe have heard of Samuel Robotham, but they've never read the material and everything. This is what I like to do when I host my lives on TikTok, is I'm putting information out that even flat earthers that have been around for a while might not have ever heard of, so that just to give them more information, because our detractors are getting this information and they're misrepresenting it. So we need to we got to get in there, man, because they're going after us using our own stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the guys who are so-called representing us are not doing their job, right? So the opposition is going to do their job.
Yes, they are doing their job. That's what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, because our ones are too busy grifting.
Look, I had one of my main TikTok live was shut down. I'll be able to go live again here in a few days, but I got a big report, which is all bogus crap, they don't like what I'm saying. I've got backup accounts, and I'll be back live again here this upcoming week. But they're going after us, man. Especially the bigger my mouth gets, the more the detractors come after you, dude. And I'm ready for it. I knew what was happening, you know.
And when you laid out with the real science, right? This is where the attack comes in and the bullying comes in, right, Tron?
Yes.
Because you're not making anything shit out of nowhere. You are showing what is it, the real science. Like, for example, what you did with your pendulous Wayne presentation. Go and debunk it. You want to debunk flat Earth? Go and debunk it. You want to debunk flat Earth? Go and debunk what is there in flat and the curve. Pick it apart. Tear it apart.
Absolutely.
And go and tell us where. Yeah, go and debunk it. That's it. It's that simple. You want to destroy flat Earth? Yeah, go and debunk the Antikythera mechanism. Go and debunk that how it's not telling you in real time what this cosmos is doing, right? Not in a digital form or on a painting. No. A real analog device. You want to destroy flat Earth? Go and start from there. There's a lot of material for you guys to start from to destroy flat Earth. Real science, real gadgets, right?
They got nothing.
No,
they have nothing.
Hey, Tron, you know, not for nothing, but I don't think there's too many flat earthers that are not going to appreciate rigorous scrutiny on something
I
they
get
say.
it. We got to do it. Even if anybody's ever gone back in time,
that's right,
and looked at people just didn't sit around and discuss things and just drink their coffee or whatever. Man, they got in fights over this stuff. I mean, they wanted, and I'm not suggesting anything like that for violence, but they really wanted the truth. And by God,
yes,
you better have brought something to the table, or they were going to shut you down. And I think that we're kind of doing that, maybe, minus the violence. We're doing it just with words and hopefully rational. We're trying to be rational here, and respectful if it's possible. Sometimes it ain't possible. We try.
But you want to know something? But it goes to show you, this is how valuable the truth is. Like, the last thing I want to do is mislead or misrepresent something. So if I get corrected, I'm so appreciative of it, because it's like the buck stops right there. I get to go back. I'm going to have to go back with my tail in between my legs. I'm a little bit embarrassed, but it saves so many people so much time, and it saves me from a lifetime of embarrassment.
Hey man, we all learn stuff. I learn stuff. I don't know everything. I wish I did. I don't know everything. I learn stuff all the time, man. All the time.
And it's so it goes to show you how valuable the truth is to us. It's better than gold, and it's unfortunate, but the globe doesn't have that. Or people that think they represent the globe, they don't have truth on their side. And so I think the problem that they're really going to come across is their character, and how people are going to view them in the future, because people are going to know that this place is flat. And then those that oppose it, they're going to be looked at with scrutiny. And so I'm like, hey, I'm tossing caution to the winds for them, but they're not listening.
Yeah, all we could do is put it out there. And people are believing. We're winning. I actually went quietly into what I call the enemy's camp. I went into our detractors quietly into a Glober live and just quietly listened. I didn't say nothing. Well, obviously, I wasn't looking for trouble. I was just quietly listening. And guess who showed up? None other than a good old Toon. And I was just listening to what they were talking about. I really want to hear what they're talking together like a bunch of cackling hens, And I'm just listening, thinking, my God, these guys really believe some weird stuff, man, about us. They believe stuff about us that's not true. I was just listening and just laughing to myself a little bit, thinking, wow, my God, Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then
you got to consider the source, Tron.
And then I got blamed because somebody kicked him. It wasn't me. Somebody noticed me in the chat. And they said, "Did you do it?" I says, "Guys, I didn't do it. I've never once reported anybody ever since I've been on TikTok.
Yep.
I may block people, but I have never reported anybody. I really believe in free speech. You know, I may not want to hear it, so I'll block you, but I'm not
Right.
going to report you, you know, even though I probably had grounds several times to report people. I'm just not going
Right.
to do it. I'm not going to do something like that unless it's, I never have yet, you know, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I feel, and it
Listen
takes
to
up
it.
so much energy. I'm
I
like,
just listen to it. I can take it. I dish it out. I can take it. You know what I mean? I just move on.
absolutely,
That's the way I look at it.
absolutely. Yeah, but those guys of the globe, they have they don't create anything, right? They don't go against the grain for anything. It's such the big telltale. You
It
don't
is.
see them talking about, it's like they're not talking about corruption. They're not talking about being poisoned. They're not talking about the kids being miseducated. They just focus on, like, really, this is what people tune in for, and you've got over 100,000 to 1,000,000 subscribers.
Breaking up, Vlad.
You're breaking up. Sorry,
I'm
dude.
losing
You're
you,
breaking up
Vlad.
a little bit, bro. Missed that last sentence, man.
We missed almost the last
Yeah, you know,
30,
they
40,
My
think
30
bad. Y'all keep
seconds.
cooking. Y'all keep cooking. Don't.
No, if
My
you
bad. Y'all
just
keep
off your
cooking, man. Y'all do
camera.
y'all thing.
Listen, Brad. Off your camera. Yeah, maybe that's what.
There we go.
Maybe it's much
Yeah.
more
You're
better.
good
Y'all
now.
keep
Yeah.
Yeah,
cooking.
So
you're good now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Y'all keep cooking, man. I'll listen. I don't want to take up on y'all's time or nothing. Y'all do
no.
y'all thing.
This is the thing. Yeah, but this is the thing. Before we continue with this Mr. Will Duffy stuff, I just wanted to say that your last the podcast you did was awesome, amazing. Yeah, with those questions and all this stuff.
Appreciate you,
So
man.
yeah. Alrighty.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
The entire globe model exists because the globe exists. Countless globe predictions come true every single day.
This guy's out of his mind, dude.
I
That's
know.
pretty
Let's
funny.
just suffer through it. Vikka.
And countless future globe predictions will continue to happen exactly.
Dude, what globe predictions, dude?
I
What-
don't know,
what-
man. What is a globe prediction? Somebody define that for me. What is the globe predicting? What did they predict who the president's going to be? What's going on? Tomato.
Dude, it's very old science, like how the time zones are working, right? How the eclipses or when are the eclipses, what are the phases, right? This is our old predictions from the old times.
Yeah, well, they're not predictions anymore because they're truths. They've been mapped out for thousands of years. So the globe.
That's why they can predict,
nothing,
yeah, even in the future. Exactly, that is the reason they can.
Nothing
They
has
can.
been predicted. It's the whole idea of something being predicted is a false narrative. It's a false narrative based on their ideology because it's not true. Right? People think, whoa, NASA predicts the next whatever eclipse. Bull crap. It's already written down when it's going
Oh
to
yeah,
be.
is
It had
the
nothing to do
Soros
with them.
cycle. Yeah, the
It
Soros
has
cycle. These are all just calculations.
It's the big clock in the sky, right? Come on now.
Exactly.
It's right
If they
there.
speak about so much about the predictions and the model, Mr. Will Duffy, why don't you debunk the mechanical RAM then? Right? Show us your analog model doing what the Antikythera mechanism or the astrolabe is doing, which is based on a geocentric stationary realm, right? With
How about the prog
North
clock?
Pole, exactly, North Pole in the center, as we see above. Not only that, eclipses and everything you could imagine. In which constellation? Where are the positions of the other planets? What kind
Totally
of
agree.
eclipse? Yeah, right? so
Yeah.
much of information and maths and science that you guys cannot even grasp it. You guys just want to splur out words like model and science and globe and maths and show us something tangible,
I'm with you.
right?
He's just spouting out basic. All it is an ideology. This is his little narrative to try to support his ideology. It's all it is.
Yeah, and what do you mean by the prediction? Just because you want people to believe in your fake experiment, so you are expecting those
Yep.
fake results, right? And flat
Yep.
earth predictions are not working. You're trying to make prediction on something that has no relation with the sky and the ground, right? So are people getting it, right? The fake experiment that he set up, he wants the prediction to be echo on his fake experiment,
Well, think
right?
about it. Who is he speaking to? He's got this little vid podcast thing. Who is he really talking to? I don't know anybody that ever heard of this guy unless you're a flat earther in the community. I don't know any normal people that believe in a globe that ever heard of this guy. So who is Duffy really speaking to, Vikka? Who do you think he's really talking to?
Yeah,
Talking
to
us.
he's the shepherd of the sheeps.
He's trying to talk to flat earthers to see if he can get someone to flip. I'm telling you right now. He's not talking to anybody else because nobody knows who he is. Frankly, if you want to know the truth, I don't think anybody really knows him. You know, it's my opinion, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. And this is the thing, Mr. Will Duffy, right? A prediction is not only about your fake experiment about sun doing that. A prediction needs to have everything involved. Every luminary is involved, right? The whole
Yes.
complete with the sun, with the moon, everything, right? Forget about in that analog version, you can show the eclipses and all the other cycles. It's too far for you guys, right? Even if you try to, as you all guys always do with your pseudoscience, try to fit in and twist things of how the reality works on a flat stationary realm, and you
True.
guys twist it to your fake globes. You cannot do that with the Antikythera mechanism. You cannot do that. So you guys can know. And the amount of predictions and maths and science and involved to make those kind of devices, which predicts in not even hundreds, in thousands of years, because everything repeats. It's so precise. As I said, you guys might need few lifetimes to debunk that because it's not even a human technology. Yo, what's up, Mr. Sam? How you doing?
Good, good. I just came out from a podcast with Flatzoid. So here I jumped left and right a little bit. What's up? What are you talking about? Like, oh, Will Duffy. Oh man.
Yes, good old Will, the fake pastor, Duffy.
I don't know, man. Everything is fake about that guy. Everything he's probably a clone also. Maybe he's not a human. It's possible. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what he is. Oh, and a Mason. He's a Mason. Let's
Yes,
not forget.
probably.
Oh no, he is absolutely.
Well, all these people in NASA and everything, they're all Freemasons. It's like a sect.
Sure.
You don't get in.
No, he admitted it. No, I'm telling you, he admitted it when Nathan was doing a debate with him on Modern Debate. A question came up from the chat. The moderator read it like this. It says, "Will, are you a traveling man?" And without hesitation, with a stoic face, he said, "Yes, I'm a traveling man." And he said nothing else because he knew what that meant. Okay, it was Masonry talk. Okay, and then of course the moderator steps in, doesn't know what that meant, and starts talking about other things. Dude, well, and I showed that very video of that to the filmmaker guy, Jonathan. He came up on one of my lives, and I said, "Do you know he's a Mason?" And I had him watch. I showed it, and he saw it, and he didn't know what to say about it. I said, "I'm telling you, he's a Mason." What do you got to say about that? Then he began to defend, oh, well, Masons are actually pretty good guys and all this stuff. And I thought, good Lord.
Well, the Masons, changed a lot, because if back then they used to travel, now he just only travel virtually, because he never traveled to Antarctica. That's for sure. He's a traveling man, but that's for sure.
They went somewhere.
Yeah,
they went for sure somewhere.
Yeah. And
let's say, let's say also hi to Lowry. Lowry, how you doing?
Larry, man, what's going on? Long time no see.
Yeah, you're muted.
What's happening? Yeah, there's a lot of loud trucks driving down the street or whatever. I was just saying hi to you guys, see what was happening. I wanted to clear up a little bit of like confusion about the last couple of weeks, especially with the Robotham stuff. The only thing that was brought up, and this was stuff that we talked about and I was on with Vlad and actually with Nachikita and Z. The only place that it mentions in all those old writings is not in the Robotham stuff. It was in Lady Blount and Albert Smith's Zetetic Astronomy, and it only exists in the preface. In other words, the very first part of the paper, they describe a sailor that was down there in December and was playing cards to the sunlight. Didn't change their position on flat Earth. Didn't change anything that they thought about this place. We were using that. That was like, look, there might be something down there we don't understand, whether we think they went on TFE or not. But I was like, here's an account of a sailor who was down there in the preface of, again, it's Lady Blount and Albert Smith's Zetetic Astronomy, not Robotham. And it only exists in the preface. And then they take the rest of the paper to mathematically just destroy, globulists. And so there was, as far as I'm concerned, in their minds, they were reconciling the fact that there's something happening out there that they don't understand, but it changes nothing about how they feel about the flat Earth and flat Earth, flat water. And they really go into the nature of flat water and why this works, and declination, and they really do a really great job. And it's only 30 pages long. So like, to clear that up, I know there was a lot of confusion, but Robotham never said anything about sailors playing cards. It was in Lady Blount's book and Albert Smith's book. I just wanted to make sure everybody got that, so that we could kind of fix maybe some confusion that was out there. Does that make any sense, guys?
When did that papers you're talking about by Lady Blount come out? You're talking about Elizabeth Blount, right?
1904.
All right.
Read the preface. It's literally it's within the first two paragraphs. They admit that they've got at least an account of a sailor playing cards at midnight in December in the Antarctic, and it reads it out, and then they immediately turn around and like, this gives no notion to us turning what we believe this place actually is. And then they go on and do 30 pages of just annihilating the globe. So in my mind, that's where I think Vlad and I and to some extent Notch and Z were shouting from mountaintops saying, look, nobody's saying anything about the South. This was before TFE. Nobody's saying anything about what's going on in the sky out there, nor are we making any claims. And here's an account from over 100 years ago where someone else says, hey, there's something about light we don't understand out there. And I think, I'm not sure what happened between last week and this week, but a lot of people getting those two papers confused might have sent some people in one way, and it might have also allowed for the TFE crowd and or whatever you call those animals to twist up some information and say something else about it, I guess, if that's the best way I can describe it.
The idea with 24-hour sunlight has always been that, but as far as a sun visible in itself, there's the difference between the 24-hour sunlight and a 24-hour sun, Yeah, now, Lady Blount was an understudy, right?
Yeah.
For Samuel Robotham. I think he passed away, what was it, like 84 or something like that. So we're many years. And of course, she started the Zetetic Society, the Zetetic Universal Society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which has nothing to do with the Flat Earth Society, in case anybody wants to know. And she thinks she started that in I want to say 1892. And of course, by 1904, she was fighting and doing all kinds. She was a pretty heavy hitter, and she was a woman back during that time, which the women didn't have any real place even back then. and she was fighting against these scientists. She would debate scientists, she would debate physicists and all this stuff. And I think she took one of the first photographs using an actual camera back then to prove the flat Earth over water. You know,
here would be a good thing to do is if you guys want to go back and reread that preface. I can't remember what her language was. If they were playing cards by light, just or if they were playing cards by the sun that was visible directly above him. I can't remember, but it's easily in the first 3 paragraphs. I could pull it up, except I'm on a pad and I can't move stuff around here. But that I don't remember the language she said. She said they could play cards at night at midnight in December during the solstice, or very near it, like the 12th or 13th. I don't remember if she said anything about the sun being directly overhead. So that would be an interesting thing, to talk about. But again, it was one little mention in one little paragraph.
Right.
And then she turns around and completely, like in 30 pages after that, gives an enormous amount of information about why, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if they can play cards at midnight on the solstice in the Antarctic? It doesn't make a fuck.
Right. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter either way. But I know that Alex Gleason, he was in that same time frame. He didn't believe in it. He wrote about it. And I know that Samuel Robothon in his book, The Zetetic Astronomy, he actually, if you have actually read the whole thing, he doesn't say it at all. Matter of fact, he kind of says there isn't one. If you read it, if you can understand the text, he did not ever claim a 24-hour sun in Antarctica or anything like that. But people have put that out there. I'm talking about Glober people. They're the ones that I've been hearing it from. So wherever they're getting it, they're using it to try to, set just as an argument. I've heard it over the last several months, as a matter of fact. And I just disagree.
Flat Earthers too are pushing the 24-hour sun.
Yeah.
I still think they could have got their answer from South America. I still don't understand why there wasn't anything more. Like I don't think we have to go to Antarctica to find out. I think we could probably get a trip to the southern tip and get enough observations to get an answer on that pretty quickly. And I'll tell you why. And again, if that whole TFE thing was completely fake, then they would have had to have faked at least the shot that he did on one short live stream that I don't know if anybody caught, but it was the Friday before they were going out. And I kept trying to get Jaron to can you give me just at least a sun angle and a time, and give me a compass reading, which he wouldn't do. But he did do a short live stream where he was out near the water, and he's pointing in the direction, allegedly, of the south, and you could see a blue arcing, what looks like illumination right on the horizon. Well, this was when he did this stream. It was at sunset, so there would have been, he could have watched what that sun did and where it was at, told me about it, and at least given me a sun angle, and then pointed back towards the south, which then would have shown what I believed to be 2 different illumination points. And I just could never get them to turn on the streamer anymore. They did it for like 5 minutes and they were laughing and having a good time, and that was it. And I don't know if that stream is still out there. I don't know. I don't think it is. But if somebody caught that one, it'd be about a 5-minute stream on the Friday before they were to get on the plane, and they were all just out in this park next to the ocean or outside their hotel or something in Punta Arenas. And I really would, even if he would have just taken the camera and done a 360 so I could see, where the sun was going down. What is the south? Show me, the compass. Show me where you're at. And, that's what I wanted. And I didn't get it. And that's something that makes me curious. It's weird.
There's a lot of...
You were not...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were not asking for some, all the... documents and everything with what happened. Dude, simple things in real time. And the community was like, you were helping to, give me this data and I can help to add to the observation, right? From wherever my location or other locations are, right? Do that. Be more active. Do things, right? No, because it was just to cover shit up, right?
Yeah. Fukco, they could have done a lot of things. And the things that we were told that were supposedly going to be done, I mean, were they really done? You know what I mean? We were supposed to get all this 24-hour feed and all this and that and the other, and all we got was excuses and equipment didn't work, or what? You know what I'm saying? Or am I misunderstanding this, or is this what we were told?
Oh yeah, simple things like flags pointing out the directions, right? Simple things like that. Maybe a spray paint or like whatever, something colors. If you cannot paint, maybe flags or markers, right? Doing different things with. Somebody was mentioning they had so many different compasses. We saw one and that was upside down, with no readings or nothing, right? Just a compass. Like what? If you were there, you had the opportunity of a lifetime to take your compass in the hand and go around in the circle and destroy flat Earth, right?
Yeah.
You had this opportunity of even being in the scientific community as being one of the most important discoveries, right?
I agree.
Same way.
Well, we know that, Vikka, we know that they were going down there to make this movie and this documentary that came out almost shortly after, right? That they went down there to make a movie, what they want to call a documentary, which they're still working on. So the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, this was the plan all along, to make up some story, make up some movie documentary. It has to involve money. They're not doing it for free. And it's going to involve money that's going to be made. And which it's, I don't care, make some money, but don't sit there and lie to us. You know what I'm saying? Tell us what's going on.
Vikka, can you share that picture I just put there on the...
What is it? A picture?
Yeah, I sent the pictures. Can you share it? Can you make it appear? Just wanted to show you something.
Yeah, one sec.
Because you see where they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tell
See
us
that
about
place?
this picture.
That's not Antarctica. This is Argentina.
Nice.
But what do you mean to say, brother? What do you mean to say? What happened? Yeah.
What I mean is that one thing that is sure for me is that they were never in Antarctica, because everything is fake about their film. So they were somewhere else. They were someplace else.
So this mountain peak, these mountains in the back, is in Argentina.
This is in Argentina. It's the glacier Porto Moreno, I think, like this. And just to tell you, there's a lot of snow in that part of the world over there, in Chile, in Argentina also. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Chile also have a lot of ice plays, and yeah, it's the Andes between Chile and Argentina is right there.
Really?
And Patagonia. Yeah, it's just one Andes mountain range, and you're in Argentina.
You have a better chance to have a good, nice, beautiful blue day in Argentina and in Chile than in Antarctica. That's for sure. But I know that they weren't there, so you can tell me everything. Anything else, I buy it, but not in Antarctica. They were never there, and that's why they insist so much, to make you believe that they were there. Even David Way say, "Okay, yeah, they think everything is fake, but they were there." Why is it so important for you that they were there? They could not be there, because mountains don't move in Antarctica. There are no straight lines with right angles in the skies in Antarctica. There's no cars that disappear into nowhere in Antarctica.
Yeah, the old disappearing trucks.
Yeah, it's not a haunted place. It's not a fucking come on. So they could not be in Antarctica. This is like cold logic. It's 1 + 1. It's like they were not there. They were never there.
I got a guy. I spoke to a guy last night. Maybe he's been on here. I don't know. I just met him last night talked to him for the first time, by the name of Jeff Butler, who had his channel taken down, and now his channel's back up. But he does a lot of time lapse stuff for the sun. He lives in Iowa, so it's pretty flat out there, and he can get some pretty good footage. And this is just coming from him. I had only spoken to him for the first time last night, Jeff Butler, and he's been doing these time lapses. And he was speaking to me as if 2 minutes into watching it, he knew it wasn't real. And I guess if you're doing these kind of things on a daily basis, it's worth maybe having a look at his stuff, but he was pretty adamant. It was like that photography doesn't look right to me. And he'd be worth checking out. Jeff Butler, and he's just does it as a hobby. He lives out in the middle of Iowa, and he's got good photography gear. And there was another thing that was brought up that was really curious, and I think it's worth at least re-mentioning, is that was it Hanby that was on the list of 9 to go to Antarctica? Was it Hanby or was it somebody else? Whoever
Your
they
hot
had there.
mic in Ira.
Yeah, what's up,
Or
guys?
yeah, it's your hot mic in. I think
okay,
so.
cool. Yeah, it's windy out here. Good to see you guys. I'll listen.
Yeah.
All right.
It was there of the list of 9 contestants that were to go. There was one guy on there, and I can't remember if it was Hamby or not. It's been so long ago. Somebody has to look that up for me. But if somebody had real gear, somebody had like just a collection of stuff that they could use and take, and were willing to do to take down there. And to me, that would have been the guy to send, if there actually was anywhere for them to send it to get the measurements that we needed. He had everything that we needed. All he had to do was get it down there, and come to find out later that they could have taken as much as they wanted because the plane was empty, and they chose Lisbeth instead. That's curious to me, because you got a guy that's seriously qualified for looking at the sky, or at least he's got the gear to do it. And I don't know if we've looked at that enough. I'd like to go back and see who that guy was and find out if it was Hanby or if it was somebody, a real skywatcher. He was showing all his gear as he was going through it, and why they didn't choose him. Because I would think in something as important and, quote unquote, as this observation was, that you'd want somebody that hadn't had their arms around the gear. I mean, I don't think Crow 777 would have gone. I think he's just too private for that. But Crow, that would have been the perfect person to send down there, and they'd have got their answer. They didn't even try. They didn't try to get
It's
Crow to go
because
down.
they were going to make a movie.
He was too overqualified.
And they went down there to make a movie, a documentary. That's what the whole thing was for. I'm telling you, they admitted it. They're going to make a movie.
True.
That's what they did. They're not there looking for truth. They were making a movie.
Elizabeth is good eye candy, that's for sure.
And I will say, Joe Hamby's astrophotography is phenomenal. Like he's got some good art for sure, like of the skies, and he understands it. He understands it quite well. Yeah.
They need guys who are already on it for this thing to happen, because if they would have taken guys like Joe Hanby or other people like Lowry is mentioning, and there are many more people, would have been the perfect person for this kind of real so-called scientific experiment, right? This is like they took actors.
Yeah. You guys know Chris Van Metry? He also would have been another qualified person. It's just curious that they didn't ask any of those people. It's curious that, just knowing, like, if you actually are on a trip for real knowledge, that you'd want to have the gear to do it. And the gear that they had was amateur at best.
I agree with you. I mean, they didn't have nothing serious down there. I didn't think. So whatever.
It's weird.
I'd like to make this panel feel a lot better. My new Substack production that me and Taylor Price put together. Gene, I texted the timestamp to you, but there is obviously it's a massive shape like I usually do. People can listen and pause and play it as they will, but there is definitely an arc in which I found the best parts of all of these live conversations between us, and I had to do some real hunting because saving these live videos is actually kind of impossible on YouTube downloaders, but I managed to finesse it anyways. And so I put together all the best parts of you guys dunking on like the Will Duffy thing, obviously Karenism, his shenanigans. And then there's what else do you guys doing? It was the part where RG and Sam were talking mad trash about that $500,000 RV. And I'm like, dude, this is so going in there. This is solid old school comedy, but it's also like, you guys are right. Like, so I just figured I'd tell you guys, like, so this thing, it's a massive shape, but a lot of people here who are kind of new to this information, such as people who work at my old cafe, it's really interesting to hear feedback from them and be like, yeah, I digest like 30 or 40 minutes a day, sometimes a couple hours of it a day, but I'll eventually get to the end of it because it's better than the radio. And I'm like, yeah, you wait till you get to the part with wait till you find the part with my friend Vikka and all of them. Like it's just like you guys are just it's just the best part of you guys dunking on the TFE stuff, because obviously if I'm making a 10-hour ass video that's in the realms of philosophy on this topic, we have to include this stuff because we have to counter the chess moves that are coming, which is them making some sexy Netflix trash about like what they went and fake did. So it's hilarious, man.
We thought we were out in front of it with TFE by talking about it 3 months. Like on this one, we need to get out. We're already out in front of it, but we need to be like keep hammering it so that by the time it hits, it's like there's so much garbage out about this documentary they're going to do that
it might be a thing where it's not just a single documentary. You're right. They might stream a half a dozen episodes on Netflix or whoever buys this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be that, you know.
I wouldn't be worried too much about them because, those people just prove this one thing is that they fuck up everything they do. They only can fuck it up. They're going to fuck up that movie like they just fuck up everything. Those are fucks. Those are fucks. Those people cannot... They're fucks. They cannot do nothing right. Sam?
That's right, Sam. Yeah.
So let's see how they're going to fuck that up too. Let's see.
And so you guys, here's the strategy. Like Gene, do you have your text message available? Can you read out the timestamp? If you guys can just write this down, but like on my newest Substack video, it's called "Escaping the Matrix" with Taylor Price. "Escaping the Matrix: Academic Prisons of Artificial Reality Systems." And for anybody listening along here and along the chat on the YouTube, whatever, it's on my website called proxyearth.substack.com, which you'll find right here under my name. And the timestamp, hold on, I think I have it saved.
I think it's 2 hours, 21 minutes, 55 seconds.
What? No, I think it's 7 hours, 70. It says 7 at the 7 hour, 54 minute and 20 second mark. It's right after a little intermission. Is a spot. So if you guys need to isolate like any part of that, but like that, like as far as me like using my editing magic to like destroy this TFE stuff, it is in there. I will eventually make a short about it and hand it to you guys, and you guys can do whatever you want with it. But I'll welcome you guys. Like seriously, just mirror that if you need. Do what you need with it, because it's. I did a pretty hard supercut of all the evidences you guys have presented to these tables. I mentioned a few weeks ago, I was like, can you guys like write these down? I'm just trying to figure out like how to, and eventually I just kind of solved the puzzle myself. But
I saw Ira your short on TikTok. That was awesome, bro. That was freaking amazing. I'm gonna upload it. Upload it. No worries.
Yeah. Help yourself to that. And I'm gonna be making more shorts like that, obviously featuring you guys. So any of the stuff that I see, if I tag y'all, dude, it's yours. It just as much as it's mine, it's yours too. We don't sell flat Earth, Like this is just freaking, we use my stuff as your weapon too. We can Xerox the points we have. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? It's the best part about compiling different things and putting together in a short format. So it was good. So absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, guys. So before we continue, I want to ask Sam a question. So Sam, you said about this photo being in Argentina. Is there a connection? What's happening, or do you have any idea or hypothesis on what happening here with that?
Absolutely not. All I can tell you is that they could not be in Antarctica, because everything is fake, and because they have no receipt, because there's no records of their trips, there's nothing. So they were not there. They were somewhere else. They can fake everything out of a studio somewhere, or maybe I don't know, anywhere is possible, but they could not be there. There's too many things that don't add up. Like you need authorizations to go to Antarctica. You need if you get a waiver, that means you have like a big time protection from the elites of the world, to get there. That's a fucking bullshit. That the camp was not there and then he was there. Everything is wrong. Everything is wrong about that.
So just going. Absolutely, like going on a controlled trip where they're saying, you cannot pass these red flags because you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall in those cracks. What is it called? Those
Yeah,
trenches, right? How the
or
fuck
like
you gonna be? How you gonna be having on a base where you have trenches at the like a walk away? How the hell are you gonna have an airport and everything where you have these trenches, right? It's all bullshit.
it's all fake, of course. Even if I wanted to believe in it, I couldn't not believe in it because it's obvious that they could not be there. They were not there. That's the whole point. And this is why that's one of the most important thing for them to make us believe is that yes, okay, that was fake, but they were there, right? Just believe that they were there, please. They were not there. They never were there. That's the thing.
Well, okay. So let's entertain a thought here, right, Sam? They make $70 million a day, and so it's like the appeal to something like a science fiction book, like Larry Niven's Ring World or something, like where it's got the most insane constructions in a fake space, obviously. But here on this world, which is real and not in space and not in a vacuum, I would say since they aren't definitely not going to space and they want to continue protecting their investment, like it's just like chump change for them to build like a Coliseum style Amazon studio that's bigger than a freaking county.
Yeah, but
like I don't know. I don't know.
There's a problem. Is that at one point they could have done it like 20 years, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, because nobody was suspecting them the way today people do. They have too much. There's too much heat on those people now. Too much attention. They can't even trust their own people because everything is spread about NASA, but that everything is fake. And what don't you think that the people that work in NASA never heard of it too? They don't know about it. So it's very risky for them to do something like this, or it has to be like a military operation. And even though soldiers talk, also people talk, it can be leaks. It's too dangerous. They cannot fuck up. So they'd rather have a guy like Will Duffy to do it. If he fucks up, he fucks up. It doesn't matter. It's like but I don't know. That's the way.
Yeah. The concept, guys. The concept of building a huge studio for this to happen, right? The concept of studio, right? The people don't really imagine what the people can do in After Effects just on your computer, guys.
Of course.
You imagine you're hiring somebody for After Effects and CGI things. You don't need to go to any huge studio for the B-real footage, right? Guys, the technology is so advanced that people are creating stuff like Hollywood style on their PC with layering.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It's just because we say a studio doesn't mean that they have built a studio in Antarctica. No. They don't need to go to Antarctica to build a studio, right?
I mean,
This could be
the thing that makes us believe that the studio is the post that the podcast you made, Vikka, when you see the straight line with the right angle in the skies.
Yeah, I included
that's the thing that makes me think that of course that looks like a ceiling somewhere. So maybe not like a huge studio, but there is somewhere in the fake environment. So
there's
of course
something
with computers and everything. There's something.
And for example, Vikka, like you guys should check out this film. Write this down. It's made by what's her name, Olivia Wilde, and it's called Don't Worry, Darling. Okay, check that film out. I think it's something kind of like that, but I don't want to spoil someone else's art. But like, check out this film called Don't Worry, Darling, and like, well, maybe if some of y'all see it, I kind of think that like they might be in something like that, and figured out how to capture. It could be a lower ether too. Like, I mean, I'm aware of like alt realms and the fact that we only see 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum without the assistance of like, expanding the mind.
NASA's got documents, I've got them, that are right around the 73 to 74 mile up.
Mm-hmm.
They acknowledge something that sounds an awful like an ether. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm talking about like when I talk about a lower ether, think about like when Super Mario, the video game, came out in 1985. Well, you are using a controller, but if from the perspective of Mario, you would be the higher self of that Mario that's crawling around on the screen, right?
Right.
But it's like an extension of your mind to play the game, and that's what makes it fun. So, I mean, I'm just saying, just check out the film Don't Worry, Darling. And I know that's an appeal to the supernatural or maybe something crazy, but I also believe like vampires exist. So like I'm not saying I know. I'm just saying.
But don't overestimate them because they. I thought I was muted. I said don't overestimate them with all that technology because they fucked up so fucking bad. I don't know shit about technology. I believe that I would have done much better. I would have done much better than them, and without knowing shit about it.
Yeah,
they fucked up so fucking much. This is fucking crazy. Even the NASA fucks up. They're so fucked up that even the NASA with like $70 fucking million a day, they fuck up every time.
They should have got better actors to go down there.
Those people are fucked up. They're fucking degenerates. They're fucking degenerates. They don't think straight.
Degenerate. That's the new word. Degenerate.
Or reprobates. This is the best podcast in the world. My God.
Oh, Sam, you got dropped out. Join back, brother. Sam got dropped out. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Join back to the panel.
Globe exists. If a flat earther tells you that there is no accurate flat earth map and there is no working flat earth model and that they don't make predictions, that is an implicit admission that a flat earth does not exist, because you can map things that exist. You can model things that exist, and you can make very specific predictions that come true based on something that actually exists and is testable. I created the final experiment to give both sides, flat earth and globe, an equal opportunity to prove their side. Only the globe side returned with evidence supporting their position.
Yeah, because you're going up with a speculation and a theory which fits your freaking model, right?
Hey,
with all those.
I've done the same thing countless times. I've asked idiots like him and others, I say, what proof can you offer? It should be easy. Slam dunk proof. They should be able to get it in 1 minute. Proof that the earth is moving at all. Not a single person has ever provided proof ever.
There is none.
Make it even easier. I say, just give me one scientist's name that's measured it moving at any rate. I get nothing. And then I tell them, I got scientists and physicists that say it isn't moving. And then I destroy them with Michelson Morley because they've never read it.
If we're going around the sun 67,000 miles an hour average, 1% would be 670 miles an hour. So if the speed is variable, I want to know when it changes, because the water in this world would pick it up. Every glass of water sitting on a table, every lake, the oceans, it couldn't handle that kind of motion change.
Well, 67,000 miles per hour breaks down to 18 miles per second. I'll say that again, right. 18 miles per second. We would all be gone in about 2 seconds. I don't think we can handle the G-forces.
I want to give them that, because they say it's relative, right? Like you're
it's all relative, in a car,
yeah. But the water couldn't handle the velocity change. It couldn't handle the change in speed. And that's what they're claiming, that the 67,000 miles for the yearly orbit is variable. That's an average.
They say you just can't feel it, but it's really happening, but you just can't feel it.
I want to speak to that. I think where Whitsitt would always lose people with kinematic equivalence, I think it could be spoken of simpler. And I think that's where the gnarly brainwash was really focused on, at least in their psychological development of how to indoctrinate, say, 3 generations of people of spinny water ball stuff, right? And the kinematic, basically, kinematic equivalence, it breaks it down real simple. You ever sat in your car and you have your foot on the brake and there's somebody sitting next to you and they go in reverse? Maybe they were pulling out of a parking spot or they were at a stop sign and they went in reverse and you completely fucking freaked out, right? So everybody that's driven has had this experience. And you're like, shit, I'm moving, my foot's on the brake. Well, apply that to the core, most basic early childhood development psychologically that you have, where your brain is the most susceptible to anything the world tells you, which would be what? Kindergarten, first grade, when they teach the heliocentric model. Yeah. If they can get you back then to get you off your rocker and get you to think that your foot really isn't on the brake and it's moving, as opposed to, no, you're not crazy, it's the person that's in reverse by you. If they can get you off that wobble, every single decision you make after that point in your timeline, moving forward out into your lifespan of however many years you live, it's always based on a falsity that you're moving and not the sky. And I cannot tell you how important that is to mind control, that if you can be swerved to believe in the inversion, you can be swerved to believe in everything else. And I think with this AI coming on now, especially like it's coming on hard on Facebook, where I think 95% of the shit on there now is AI. Nobody is going to know what's real. And I think that was on purpose. So that then the next argument can be, everything can be fake now. So, but we still know that it's a ball, right? The normalization of, well, everything's fake now. And I think it was on purpose. I think this AI was introduced to once again, another layer of getting people to not trust their senses, like not trust the fact that their foot's on the brake. And it's a metaphor that Whitsitt never really knew. I don't think he ever knew exactly how to talk about it. He could talk kinematic equivalence to 24 hours. He could talk about it, but people would get lost. And he was talking about it correctly, but he wasn't saying it in a way that people that can understand what that actually means. It's like, you're not moving. You're not doing what you see is what it is. And, whether Duffy's an actor, he's a bad actor. I was saying in chat earlier, I think his handler is probably really disappointed in his acting skills. So we can see that shit pretty easy. There's some that are better actors, and there's some that are really good at arguing the anti-flat earth talking points, yeah. But if you can back people up into a place where, like, I need you to remember, dude, what was your favorite thing about kindergarten? What do you remember the first thing they taught you? And you can get them into that space and get them to stay there for a hot minute. You might actually be able to get them to slow down that wobble that was created in the initial inversion. Does that make any sense? Did I do any better than Whitsitt on that? I don't know.
We're not moving.
We're not moving. We're not spinning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to say I'm talking on the I'm talking on the chat here with someone interesting, and I don't think that person's being very bad faith on the YouTube chat, and I want to speak respectfully to this guy named Sean. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, the Earth is not moving. You can stand a quarter on its side, and even if you try to stand a quarter on its side on a level freaking table, like inside of a constantly moving elevator, you're not going to get it to sink. And another way to test that is like go to see those videos of those creekside people doing the rocks that they're stacking, like you see them constantly in these Eric DeBay videos. And how about this level-headed William guy is constantly going to college campuses and telling people directly not to watch any films, not to watch Vikka's films, not to watch my film, not to watch Sean Hibbler's films, not to read Eric DeBay's books. And Eric DeBay, he was even kind enough to bring this guy onto his show. This is a CIA plant, and it happens. We can't control them all. And you know what? I don't have any issue with people like giving people the chance and the benefit of the doubt and amplifying conversation. It's not a mistake to have a conversation with anybody, even if they wind up being a plant. But dude, this upwards moving Earth thing is worse than the globe. My new special totally covers this, and all you gotta do is stand a quarter on its side. Dude, the Earth is not moving. All the other 5 guys in this panel know this because you don't feel it in motion, and to believe it's going constantly upwards sells people back on the idea of a godless nothing above us, which is space.
I'll tell you right now, that stuff came directly from the Flat Earth Society.
Yes.
Directly
Yes.
out of it. This
You think Dell is Flat Earth Society? I've thought about that. It's like, 'cause it's Dell's circle. Dell's the one that's been pushing.
Yeah, it's Dell. It's Dell. It's Dell and this level-headed William kid, and they're running around telling people, no, it's actually level, and Flat Earth is a psyop, and anybody telling you stationary, you should never watch their films. And it's like, okay, cool. So everybody's gonna stay on the globe. It's a way to tame people and keep them on the damn globe, dude.
It's a psyop.
And seriously, if Flat Earth gets out to 10% of the population to like the punk rock scene and shit, guess what? The New World Order ends. Duh. That's why they're doing this upwards moving Earth shit, dude.
That garbage came out a long time ago. The idea that the Earth is like a pizza hovering in the heavens and it's floating upwards. I think it's a 10 meters per second squared or something like that.
And they're just trying to sell people back into
9.8 meters per second squared. It's buffoonery. It has no place anywhere in any real flat Earth stuff. It came out of the Flat Earth Society people somewhere. That crap infiltrated.
Yeah, and it's
we don't know how we don't know, guys, that maybe this is also the same thing, powered, but coming from the Flat Earth Society, or to push the 24-hour sun.
It could very have been. You know, the Flat Earth Society started off good. It really did. It started off in like 1956. The dude, I think it's the same. The guy's name has the same name as the guy that's running it today, but they're not related. But he just wanted to continue what Lady Blunt's society, you know, the Zetetic Universal Society, because it passed away when she died. It just fizzled out around right before World War II. Then he comes out in the 50s, revamps everything. It's a separate thing called the Flat Earth Society, which was a good thing initially. They were talking about Zetetic method and everything, but then as time moved on, he passes away. This other dude, I think Johnson, gets it. He has it for a long time. That's during that time frame is when this crap you're just talking about came out, and they never stopped.
The 70s, the peace and love of the 70s. Yeah, okay. And also the other thing is
probably more. I want to say it probably came out in the 80s or 90s.
Sure.
But the guy ran it until like 2000. Then he passed, and this other dude has it, who's even worse.
well, Dubé was saying on some interview. I mean, I think there's people need to put a difference. It's very similar. There's one going to be like. I'm not going to apologize to you, Sean. You can just keep watching level-headed William videos, man. Like the guy in the chat. No offense, dude, but like this is such a psyop. Like it's so sad. And you know what? We make films. He
swears by it, dude.
It's really weird. Man.
I speak about it occasionally.
But I'm gonna say like there's the thing that it's the Flat Earth Society, and obviously we know there's problems there. But then there's the one that it's called the International Flat Earth Research Society. IFERS, and that's a whole different concept because it obviously just sticks to the stationary Zetetic model and actually gives you the research, which is all the books that Tron's read. And the Flat Earth Society just has a bunch of interviews with people like what's her name, Patricia Steer, who already is pretending to go back to the globe.
Yeah,
she's pretending
with
to flip
Mark
back. So it's like
for a while they were big buddies. Anyway, I'll shut up.
No, it's all good. I mean, I give people the benefit of the doubt, but that lady's definitely a Fed. I'll definitely say that about her because guess what? Like what does that do? It tames people and puts them back on the globe. And it's like to think that this Earth is constantly rising puts you on this cartoonish thing. And again, it just gives you back this idea that there's an infinite space vector above us to go to. And that what do you need to do that? You need that to hide. You need that to hide higher realms. That's it. It's like
they wanna and they try to use it.
I think guys, before we continue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is the thing. They wanna create more confusion, and I think it's possibility that this part is also somewhere the infiltration and happened to make this shit happen. Before we continue, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to Justin Johnson. There he's saying, "Hi Vikka, much love." Yeah, shout out to you, brother. I saw your segment on Vlad's. Pretty awesome, bro. So you're invited anytime you want to join us on the panel here on Heliopsychosis. We'd love to have you. All
Hey,
right,
Vikka,
guys, we'll continue with this.
I want to
Yeah,
jump
go
off
ahead,
real
Laura.
fast because I
Larry.
got to go do the sombrero. Great conversation. This needs to continue and get in front of it and everything
Yeah.
else. I did want to say that there is an event on the East Coast happening called Flatlanta, and I'm opening up about 15 to 20 lanyards to streamers to come to the event for free. So if there's people out there that have content that want to do stuff, and I'm opening up to a lot of people, even some things that maybe I don't endorse, but I want some people to kind of get out there and say their things. So that just hit a couple days ago, and we'll talk about it more tonight after Vikka gets done. We'll be on the sombrero, but we'll be talking about it now for the next 4 months. It's October 3, 4, 5 in Atlanta. And guys, keep up the good work. I really appreciate the conversation, and it's always pretty smart on here. So
I'm game.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, brother. Absolutely. Let us know. Give us the details. Share the links, bro. Absolutely.
You got
And
it.
Lowry,
Cheers.
let me know if you want me to write some drum parts for you at all. Just hit me
It's
up.
gonna be more heavily music than it has been in the past as far as the gathering is
I mean,
concerned.
I'm just saying, like, if you ever need me to email you drum parts. Just
Yeah,
let me know.
we need to do some music.
Yeah, dude. Just text me. And we'll talk, man.
Indeed. All right. I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks, Larry. Good to see you.
See you,
bro.
Larry.
Talk to
Thanks
you
for
soon.
passing by, bro.
All right,
Cheers.
Good to meet you.
And also shout out to Club 7 in the chat. Awesome legend too, brother. If you wanna join in on the panel, let us know. We'll send you the link.
The globe side returned with tons of concrete evidence that both accurately matches the globe model and also falsifies flat Earth.
What evidence
This brings
are we
us
talking about?
to weight variation.
What?
evidence are we talking about here?
They're living a
Exactly.
fucking fantasy.
I haven't seen anything.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, they're just living a fantasy. That guy is not connected to reality. I don't know what these people use drugs. I don't know. They're crazy. I don't know. What they say, the statements they make is like so out of space. It's like they're like, it's crazy. You know, I know how to lie. You know, I can lie, but these guys just enjoy it so much. It's like it's like a religion for them. It's like, it's crazy.
It's what their skill is. Their skill is.
Oh man, they're trained for that. But you know, even a good liar is not trained, you know, to hide his smell, because sometimes you can have like a good guy that knows how to confuse people, that has tactics, you know, in his speech, and he can sell you anything. But you know, sometimes there's a smell. There's like something that you feel about the guy that's wrong, even though everything he says seems right, and they cannot control that. They're not trained for controlling that. That means we can uncover this guy. We can see through those guys, because you know something is wrong in how they say things, in their body language, and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you know, this guy, everything is wrong about that guy, man. No, it's very hard for me to look at him. That's why I'm playing, like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm playing the bubble game on the same time, you know, bubble shit, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
I cannot see that fucking guy.
Guys, shout out to also Josh Monday. Awesome. Some of the nice to see you also in the chat. Any of you guys, if you want to join the panel, let us know and we'll try to send you the link. Alrighty, let's continue.
Based on latitude. We had a very important participant with us in Antarctica on the globe side. His name is Critical Think.
Oh man.
Well, g'day, flatties and reality defenders. This is Critical Thing from Down Under. Thank you.
Critical Think, or CT for short, was an instrumental part of TFE. First, as we covered in a previous video, he took the non-stop flight between Sydney, Australia and Santiago, Chile, both on his way to Antarctica and on his...
Dude, having a non-stop flight, how the hell that proves a globe Earth, right? How does it?
No, it doesn't. I agree.
Dude, if it goes from Antarctica, like, it should be the shortest distance. How many hours did it took that guy from Australia to Chile? How long did it took? if your globe is converging and the distances are getting shorter, why the hell he's having 14 plus hour flights, right? The planes are bigger, can do longer distances. Now there are planes that can go for 14, 17 hours non-stop. How the hell does it prove a globe? The way these guys make that flight route like a cartoon from Australia to Chile, like a curve. Come on, guys, that curve should be very small.
Radio
His
silence.
way home from Antarctica for TFE.
What did you say, Sam?
No, nothing. I just was mentioning nobody talks. I
Okay.
didn't know what
This flight makes perfect sense on a globe and would be impossible on a flat Earth.
Perfect sense on a globe. What sense on a globe?
It's not impossible on a flat surface. How is it impossible?
I don't understand. If the globe is spinning so fast like this and it's spinning so fast in space and everything is spinning so fast, how do they reproduce? How do people reproduce? If everything was moving so fast, I don't know. It's so stupid. I don't understand. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, because these people took it from a few years back that some flat earthers claiming there is no possible of a non-stop flight. Dude, it doesn't make a difference if there's a flight, a non-stop flight or a direct flight. What matters is the time and the distances. That's what can prove or disprove something, right?
Yes.
That flight
he
time
makes
should
it
be
a-
half or less. Yeah.
He makes a point of always saying that they left from Chile. Always says that.
It's almost insistent.
Yeah, and the best way to convince somebody of something is to keep repeating it.
Well, we know that Jaren left California on the 10th. That's what we know. So they arrived the 16th.
Flat
so I don't know
Earthers
the
said
14th.
for years that this very flight was fake and would not work on a flat Earth and would prove the globe. And surprise, they no longer stick with what they said once it was demonstrated that this flight is indeed real and travels nonstop without crossing the equator, staying in the southern hemisphere the entire time. But Critical Think didn't join TFE in Antarctica just so he could take a nonstop flight that he already knew was real. CT had much bigger plans in mind. He wanted to show the world that we live on a rotating globe. More specifically, an oblate spheroid. For over
Spheroid.
He speaks like Steven Alonso, like this.
Yo, what's up, Gio?
What's up, guys?
Somebody have some resonator or some gadget or device, energy device on or what? It's like humming.
Yeah, I heard it.
Who's that?
It's not me, bro. I heard it in my headphones, so it's not me.
Maybe it's Sam.
How are you guys doing? Everybody good?
It's maybe me. Can you hear it now?
Now, no.
Oh, okay. So that's not me.
We're good, Gio. How you doing?
Good, brother. Good. Thank you for having me on.
What's up, Gio?
We good, Gene. We good, bro. Hope everybody else is doing good.
Oh yeah. So yeah, anytime anyone wants to add something, go ahead. Yeah.
6 years now, CT has been traveling the world, taking very precise measurements that confirm three things concerning the globe: rotation, curvature, and gravity.
Rotation, curvature, and gravity that has been debunked from hundreds of years.
So you can't contain my
With
laughter.
scientific method. Oh, yeah. With scientific method. And you guys just want to push it for face value with fake mathematics, with fake experiments and observations, right?
Yeah, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just jumped in, so I'm sorry I didn't watch the first part, but I'm guessing they want to do something new to try to disprove flat Earth again, right? Is this something new or is this something old?
No, but he's bringing it up again. It's about the weights and the Ira, bro. When you're using the keyboard, do mute your mic, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So these people are bringing it up again about the weights and all this stuff. The thing is that he's so desperate that his 24-hour sun didn't work, right? His fake pilot friend didn't help a lot, right?
Wolfie.
Nothing real science. Wolfie. And now he's trying to get back his silly experiment also, like the others, with the weights and all this shit. So we're trying to expand on it. We're trying to look with the magnifying glass where is some science, if we can find some real science there, right?
Yeah, well, let me just say this. If you're taking a flight from, let's say, like Europe to Aruba, which is like 11 hours, let's say Amsterdam to Aruba, going east to west and going west to east, we all know that it should be like half the timeline. Because you're flying for 11 hours. That's like half a Earth rotation, supposedly. But it doesn't change. The only difference is like 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes is because of the different routes that they take to go inside the city or outside the city. And that's it. Of course, Aruba is not a city, but Amsterdam is a city. And there's where you get that 20 minutes difference. And it happens with all flights, just that there's no rotation of the Earth. So he should be questioning that. He will never do.
Oh yeah, this is the thing we were mentioning about like non-stop flight doesn't prove a globe. This is what we were getting on, because this is what he was trying to say, that because his friend took a flight and it was a non-stop, so this proves a globe. No, the sizes have to be really different. And if he's just said an ovoid spheroid or whatever shit, right? The distance have to be less than half. That's the reality. The plane is, as you're taking 14 hours plus, right? Where the hell are you going? It's showing you that it's freaking covering a lot more distance in the south. It's simple as that, right? For these people to be on a globe, it should be just a hop, freaking from Australia to Antarctica, or Chile. It should be a hop.
Now you will start to see why having CT and his experiment with us in Antarctica were so crucial. Before we get into the details of his experiment, we need to do what we do best here at TFE, and that is bring receipts.
That is lie. The best that is lie.
What a joke. They don't have any receipts. What a fucking joke.
Beginning of TFE, we have always provided receipts of what those on the flat earth side have claimed, and this was done so as to not strawman the flat earth model. Once again, let's listen to a flat earther, this time Phuket word, talk about the globe's prediction of a weight variation based on latitude.
The 20 questions guy goes on about the difference in the weight of things at the equator compared to other places in the Earth. Have you actually gone and measured it? Have you ever done it? We understand that in the model, based on the spin and centrifugals, centripetal whatever forces, that that's the result that you can calculate based on your model. But has anyone actually gone and measured this so-called difference? Has anyone actually measured that a kilogram weighed in somewhere up north is any different to a kilogram weighed on the equator? Has anyone actually gone and done that? No, they have not. A kilogram is a kilogram wherever you are on the earth.
Well, Phuket Word, it's your lucky day. Because critical
It's a lucky day. He's here to save the globe again.
think has done exactly what you claim no one has done. And not only that, he has accurately predicted these variations in weight before doing the actual tests. And this is part of what is known as the scientific method. Only the globe side participates in the scientific method. And here's a
Oh, let's see the scientific method.
Big science coming up here. Brace yourself.
quick refresher on what the scientific method is and how it works.
In general, we look for new law by the following process. First, we guess it. Then we well, don't laugh, that's really true. Then we compute the consequences of the guess to see if this is right, if this law that we guessed is right, we see what it would imply, and then we compare those computation results to nature, or we say compare to experiment or experience. Compare it directly with observation to see if it works.
This video's great.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science.
Predictions are the name of the game when it comes to science. Flat earthers go out of their way to avoid.
Dumbass. Sorry. What an idiot.
I love Richard Feynman, by the way. I have a lot of his books. Like, I legit do not. I think he legit believed in space, but I don't think he was lying about it. I think he just legit thought it was real. And then, I've read a lot about him, but he right before 1987, he was part of the Rogers Commission, which investigated the Challenger explosion. And right after he found that NASA's space shuttle that exploded was using cheap, it cost a dime at the hardware store, freaking O-rings to hold back the vacuum of space, he brought it before Congress. And then shortly after, just mysteriously died of something that to me looks kind of like poisoning. But I'm just saying, he was a very powerful person for displaying to others what the Aristotelian scientific method actually was. That video that you just showed on there that was clipped into this one is so important because he's absolutely right. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And you know what disagrees with all these upwards moving Earth theories is the quarter standing outside or stacking rocks by the creek on a not moving Earth at all. And things like that. And then all this stuff that Will Duffy's doing. The theory and the predictions is how science works. They've done that to all these academics, and then they charge these students and enslave them with $150,000 of the debt so that they can go and maybe get a job and then get nothing and then just get duped into debt by these freaking villains who are teaching all this trash to people. So, anyways, go on.
Yeah, I remember something about that. Yeah, that rubber shit.
But I'm just
avoid
saying,
making predictions and to avoid doing experiments to test predictions, and we all know why. Historically, every time they actually made a prediction, it was wrong. You can't go to Antarctica.
We're not allowed to go to Antarctica, okay?
Dude, you fucking paying it's like going on a trip with those tourist group. Yeah. You know, it's not the same when you freaking backpack and you freaking go and explore. And when you go on that whole reserve trip with all the group, you have to do everything the group is doing. You have to go and see everything is in the itinerary.
You cannot independently go on your own. I cannot go right now, get on an airplane, fly to Antarctica, and just take off going down anywhere the heck I want to go. It's not going to happen. You need a permit first. The permit means permission. I'm telling you, it doesn't work like that. So he's lying.
Exactly.
He's lying.
Hey,
oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
in 2022,
Who was that?
it was me. In 2022, we did an experiment on TikTok. It was with this Indian guy called Andre, and we literally asked all the commercial flights for. He emailed all of them professionally. Like he did it professionally before AI was around. Now you can create an email with AI. We asked all of the big commercial airlines to provide us an airplane, which we would provide 500 people. Where we're going to ask for 250 flat earthers and 250 globe earthers to sign up, and we can reduce the price because the price was a lot. But if you get like 500 people to go on a commercial airline, was it 500 or was it 200? I think it was maybe 200. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what it was. A Neos Airbus, a 730, if I'm not mistaken, that we were trying to charter. But every company kept on going with us, like getting along, until we actually tried to book it, and they didn't respond back. None of them did. It was like a month-long experiment that we were doing on TikTok to try to get and it's just a commercial airline to charter us, to take us on a trip exactly over Antarctica, and none of them continued the business deal. Just FYI. It was a pretty big thing on TikTok.
Duffy's lying through his mouth. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is the thing, right? If you're going in a control, these people went like on a picnic tour, right? Be here, don't go out of the park, don't do shit. Like that's not going to Antarctica, bro. Yeah, and going to Antarctica, like if the people could have gone and explored, that's another thing. Like this is same like going on a cruise near Georgia Island, Argentina. All these parts, it's almost Antarctica, the around surroundings of Antarctica, right? That's not going to just Antarctica. It's like it's like you are flying through Paris and you said I was in Paris, right?
Yeah, bro. That's like
or stopping over. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're in Spain. Let's make believe you came over and you went to Florida and saw Keith, and then you went back to Spain and said, "Oh yeah, I saw the United States." It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. So no one is denying, right? When the people are saying you cannot go to Antarctica, that means you cannot independently explore. This is what I mean, right?
Yes, and we
But
all
these
know
people,
and they know that's what was being implied. They know it, so they are Duffy is willfully lying.
Willfully.
Willfully.
We're not allowed to go to Antarctica.
There is no 24-hour sun in the south.
We do not have a 24-hour sun in the south.
The South Pole doesn't exist.
No one's at the South Pole because there is no South Pole.
No one has ever crossed.
exactly. If you prove that the South Pole exists, it would have been a very easy experiment. Apart from the fake sun you did, you could have shown with the compass. That's easy. Right, there has to be some point, right? If the sun is going around on the top, there has to be a central point on the ground below, right? Easily with the shadow or many ways to prove it, right? Marking the places and many ways, and with the compasses, how the compass should, right? There is a South Pole. The compass should do what it should do, right? It's very easy.
Antarctica.
Nobody has actually really gone all the way across Antarctica.
Non-stop.
Exactly. Who the hell has gone directly from Australia or the one from the pole, had a flight and crossover? Who did that? That could be one of the most easiest things.
They have this make-believe story about a guy walking like hundreds of miles in this ridiculous amount of short time, and he's dragging like 200 pounds behind him. It's so stupid. The
Yeah,
same
he's
with
one Indian
charity, you
guy.
know.
One Indian guy, right?
What's that?
He's one
No,
Indian
no,
guy that
he wasn't an Indian guy.
I think so.
I
I think
know what
so.
you're talking about. He crossed the supposed right with the peninsula of Antarctica. Is that just a little bit more south
He's
than that
supposed to
line?
cross.
No, he's
I think he's
supposed to
supposed to
cross.
cross.
He's supposed to cross
Allegedly.
full of Antarctica,
Bro,
but he did not.
Do you know what it's like to drag 200 pounds behind you? You can't, on flat ice, yeah, sure, no problem. But once you start dragging it uphill on ice, no less, that becomes a real problem.
Yep.
You can't just run around dragging 200 pounds of crap behind you on ice. I call bullshit on that story. I think I
Yeah.
saw that on Joe Rogan or something.
Yeah.
But he's got all the garbage. But, he presents it as the truth. So sometimes it's
Yeah.
worth watching.
Flights in the southern hemisphere don't exist.
I just wanted to say I have a Spanish book that has a whole 2 pages of Antarctica, and the book is literally showing the people that wrote it. I don't know. I have to bring the book and show it to you guys one day, but I have the pages. They're talking about 900 deposit of resources that they're very skeptic of on why they are doing the whole Antarctica treaty thing, and I can show it to you guys. It's crazy. But I can send it or something. I don't know how I can. I'll present it. I have to transfer it over from my phone to here.
If you have it on the hand, yeah, we can screen share.
It has yet to be proven that these flights even exist, since no unedited video footage exists online, and every time flat earthers have attempted to book the non-stop flight, it fails to go through, gets cancelled and refunded days before departure, or changes to a non-direct flight.
You can't circumnavigate north to south.
All you'd have to do to prove you're the ball and set this stupid flat earther up is fly over Antarctica and pop back up on the other side. That's impossible on a flat earth. It's called north to south circumnavigation. Never been done in the history of mankind, and it's illegal to even try to do it.
The list goes on and on. Instead of realizing the pattern here, they have decided to stop making predictions altogether, and as far as I can tell, have no interest in any future experimentation that follows the scientific method. The globe model is so robust that there are countless predictions that can be made based on the globe, and they will all happen just as predicted. One such prediction is not well known, but is an incredibly powerful one. And I will let CT give an overview of his experiment.
Now, why is this experiment so fabulous? I mean, I love this experiment. And I've explained this before, but here we go again. The results are sort of unexpected. I mean, who would think that as you go towards the equator, you're going to weigh just a little bit less? And this little bit less is in fact measurable. And it's a non-optical observation, no refraction required. You know, there's a lot of flatties, they come and ask me, oh, do you have a non-optical evidence of curvature? Oh, yes, we do. It's this experiment, non-optical, no geometric horizon required. Isn't that good news? And there is no flat Earth explanation for this naturally observed phenomenon. It's observable, testable, repeatable, and falsifiable. And anyone can do the experiment. Even flat earthers could do it if they really tried, and I know one that has. Now, if there was no R, it would not work. So when flatties say you're going to need an R for that, well, if you didn't have R, this...
Yeah, that R stands for retard, that he is.
Vikka, I don't know if you guys realize, but these guys are reading a script. They're not talking natural. They're not talking normal. They're reading, they're prepared, they articulate, they speak good, they speak like in a fucking they're reading a script. Like when you read, when you hear a documentary on National Geographic or something, everything is like perfect. All the words are like, it doesn't make no mistakes. It's like reading a script. And even Duffy.
Oh yeah, mental gymnastic. It's pure mental gymnastic. This is
exactly
what they do, because once you don't have the evidence, you're gonna bring your fake maths, your pseudoscience, and trying to connect the things that doesn't make sense.
Hey, Vikka,
right?
do you
That's what I'm saying.
Who's that guy there with the cowboy hat? Like who the fuck is that? Who's that guy?
His name is Critical Thing. He's the guy, according to Will Duffy, that did these two experiments. That he flew from Australia in a non-stop flight that proved the globe. That's it. That's scientific method, guys. Right? With no timing, with no distances, right? Yep.
Do you remember Kelsey Hughes? Hughes? The bald-headed pilot? He was propped up in the algorithm of YouTube for a long time for saying that I need a flat earther and I will take them anywhere they want to. That's what his proposition was. And then flat earthers started asking him to go over Antarctica, and he said that yeah, sure, that's not a problem. And after like a year of him trying to do it, he never did it. I think he had David Weiss won a bet against him, something like that. The guy failed drastically.
Oh yeah, he did the crowdfunding. He took the money from the Glovers.
Exactly,
and he disappeared. Right?
Guy.
This is
that guy. That guy exactly. But we don't forget, man. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah, you think you're gonna forget? Even Eddie was there on him, right? And we also were sharing videos, right? Yeah, he was very hyped up. This, that, yeah, $1 million he needed and everything. You know how much he took, and he just said, "Yeah, now keep waiting, guys, Globers."
They pushed him down so far in the algorithms that you don't find him anymore. Like it took me like I think it was 2 pages or 3 pages to try to find him. Well, I had to find his name first. But
I would have asked him to go to Antarctica from New Zealand, not from Chile. I want to go from there.
Yeah, it was a flight like from New Zealand. What was it? The west side of Australia, which is called which makes a direct flight in the center of Antarctica over to Ushuaia, and he never did it. He never. Yeah, it was funny.
Oh man, this is crazy stuff. Like, it's just there's so much damage control from all ends, and all we got to do is just like calibrate ourselves and know what we know, and we have our presentations, man. Like it's like. Dude, I love telling people about the mechanical realm, man. It's just the ultimate sledgehammer.
Thanks, bro.
Came out of nowhere, really, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. Never in their life they would have thought that. Yeah, this is the thing. This is how truth works, guys. It's written in stone. It's written in technology. It's been from thousands of years, right? So I think the globe is having a hard time and is going to have a hard time for sure.
I tell you something.
Work at all. So yes, we have an.
No, I was going to tell you that these guys that invented the globe and all that shit, gravity and everything, they had much time to do so. They had a lot of time. They took their time to do so. It took them years and years and decades and centuries. And the thing is that they're good planners. They can plan on like years and years, but I don't think that they're very good on working fast. And everything is going fast today. I think they're not so good in managing everything that's going on, because it's going too fast for them, even though they have like money and everything. And I think that's why they screwed up so much. Even NASA, even Duffy and everything, they screw up because actually they do everything on a hurry, and they don't know how to do that. That's why they make a lot of mistakes. They don't have the time. Everything goes too fast for them.
Yeah. I think that the process that needs all of this jokery, like Antarctica going TFE and all of that, needs a lot of permission and a lot of like high power people in order for that to work correctly. And that you know, a natural thing like purchasing a ticket from going from like, let's say like Europe to Amsterdam, or New York to Amsterdam or whatever, that happens in one day. You can do it quick. But doing something like going over Antarctica or staying in Antarctica or whatever, it took him a year, because I have a video of him standing in the woods saying that, and we're working on something big and we're gonna finish flat Earth. Like it took him a year to do this. So yeah, and what, $75 million $1,000 or $100,000 or more, like.
But wait a second, you're talking about 100,000, but it's nothing, because I heard that the permits, the authorization costs already like $500,000. I heard like numbers like 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. So just for one person, and sometimes they just refuse it after you paid, and they don't refund you.
Yeah,
So
you can't,
we're talking
you can't
about
pay
100,000 is nothing. It's bullshit. If you really had to pay for everything, it would have cost you like like $40 million of that shit. It's like a huge fucking amount of money.
Yep.
And then and everything that goes with it. I don't believe so. They didn't go there, and if they did go there, they're also trapped, because how come they got all these authorizations like so easy? That means someone is in on it with a big
It took him a year, so it wasn't that easy, and just in my opinion, right? It took him
Well, what I can tell you is that we had to wait a year to get to the at the right time in December. We can't go in some other time. We have to go there just in December, so they can play with you with that. But it's clear now that we know that they never went there. Let's just wait for the movie to see how they're gonna fuck that up. So it's gonna be like funny also. They already fucked up. You see in my videos, I show that even in their trailer they fucked up. There is two sons. They have the trailer of that documentary they're trying to make. So they made a trailer, and in the trailer you see there is two suns. There's a sun behind, and there's like a sun, like coming up from the ground. They already fucked up the trailer.
They're making a movie.
Huh?
They're making a movie.
They're making a documentary. That's what they say.
Right.
And they made a
Will
trailer,
Duffy, right?
And they fucked up the trailer. They already fucked it up.
Yeah, Will Duffy, and that's what they were going down there to do, was to make a movie.
Wow,
He said it early on. He said it, and then
interesting.
And his filmmaker dude, his name was Jonathan. He got on board at the last minute. He's supposed to be a flat earther, but he's a fake flat earther.
Of course he is.
You can just jump in. Yeah, as you say, you cannot just jump in the last moment. I'm gonna go. Like it's like asking for going to to Disneyland. Who wants to go to Disneyland? Everybody, me. Dude, till the last week they were like finalizing on the people.
I talked.
And you guys, and you guys are speaking about permits and all this shit. For sure, that in itself shows that this is such a huge fakery. Simple things like these.
For that. And if there was no rotation, it would not work as well. So not only do we have an R, we have rotation. Everything you need to disprove the flat and stationary Earth.
Now, the predictions made for these weight differences based on what latitude you are at on the globe are based on the world geodetic system, which precisely defines the shape of the Earth, which gives a basis for a coordinate system which can be used to locate points on the Earth's surface, which can then be used for mapping and navigation, among other important things. The latest world geodetic system version.
Mapping and navigation. So what? It cannot be something to do with the magnetic field and the magnetic declination. How do you call that? Magnetic declination, all right? Something like that.
Magnetic declination, that's correct, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Who the hell is doing weights?
That's
right.
crap because
doing navigation.
you could weigh less because you went to the bathroom before you got there. I mean, that they not thought about it. Maybe you had to take a piss or take a dump.
Well, somebody.
If you don't eat a lot or drink enough or drink a lot for just a few, like maybe just 3 or 4 hours, you could lose 2 or 3 pounds easily by just not even taking any fluids in, and just so this guy is just being absolutely ridiculous.
Well, think about this: if you had gold somewhere that it weighed less, and you brought it somewhere that it weighed heavier, like you're gonna make a lot of money on that.
Well, yeah. Hey, let's cash in our gold over there because it's going to weigh more.
Nobody's doing that, so it's not real.
This guy is beyond ridiculous, man. Beyond ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, how would they come up with a universal weight unit if it changes? This is stupid.
Exactly.
Only on the globe does this happen.
We have to realize at one point that these people are not normal. Those are sick people, because it goes behind. It's not even like fun anymore. It's like these people are dangerous. They're like sick people. They should be like put in an asylum somewhere with cameras on them all day long, like, because they're like crazy. They're like just crazy people. Free on the outside. They're crazy. They're not stupid. It goes beyond that. They're fucking crazy. This is
was established in 1984 and goes by.
It's taught to children, so it's not easy to come out of that kind of indoctrination. It's just not easy for people.
Oh yeah, we cannot blame the children, right? Who are to be blamed are the indoctrinated sheeps, right? Because if they are indoctrinated, they're gonna teach to the children, right? So the problem is not the children. The problem is the ones who are grown up and who's buying into this Narnia shit without real scientific method. Yeah, with only word salad and twisting. Yeah, seeing something and just putting in some number and see this is with the same thing with the refraction, same with all the thing. No, there is 0.4 this and that, and it should. What the fuck? Do some real science, dude. Show us some real curvature.
I don't know if you guys saw the Max Egan trip from Chile to Australia, supposedly, right? He was showing that the compass, he brought a manual compass on the flight, and he was showing that the compass was pointing not what the plane screen is actually showing. It was going a little bit southwest. It's not a lot southwest like they claim they go very south. It's not. And yeah, I don't know if you saw it, any one of you guys, but it's pretty good. It's on BitChute.
Maybe share the link.
Oh yeah, I will, bro. Let me
The
see. Let me share it
acronym
right now.
WGS84. So if you ever see this license plate on the road, you will now understand that this is not just another random license plate, but rather a custom personalized plate. And if you see this plate, go ahead and pull up next to the vehicle, and you may or may not see Ruhif behind the wheel. WGS84 states that the Earth is an ellipsoid or spheroid and not a perfect sphere. This is important because certain predictions based on the globe model would actually differ if we lived on a sphere versus an ellipsoid. Now, before
somebody needs to tell NASA.
Yeah, they're living in their own shit. They're making up shit, and then they want to debunk their own shit. Yeah.
But someone is making it for them because he's reading. Look at the eyes. He's reading.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's reading for sure.
He's reading a fucking script.
Oh yeah, you think he's gonna know everything by memory? What he's spewing?
It's all fake. It's fake to the. Oh man, it's hard to watch him, man. I have to play a game or something. I have to play something like like a bubble shooter or something.
DT shows us what he does for this experiment. There is some basic knowledge you must have to understand his experiment, starting with the difference between weight and mass. Many people talk about mass when they mean weight and vice versa. It's beyond the scope of this video to teach the difference, but basically mass is the amount of matter an object has, and that does not change based on location on the globe. But weight, on the other hand, is the force exerted on an object.
What the fuck is up with him, dude?
They're insane. It's called insanity, Vikka. Insanity. Fucking inbred degenerates.
Yeah, just twisting the word mass and weight. Yeah, putting it in a ball like what?
Object by gravity. When the experiment shows that the weight changes by latitude, the mass remains the same. The change seen on the scale is a change in the gravitational force, which has predictable and measurable differences based on the location on a rotating spheroid.
Holy
This is
shit.
gibberish. This is gibberish. This is total nonsense. This is insanity. They have to be put in an asylum in an emergency.
Dude, how exactly? How the fuck did he connect? How the fuck did he connect that weight change to rotation?
Forget about it. Just in order to talk to those people, you have to have like a very high degree in psychiatry. You have to be a psychiatrist.
Bullshittery.
Yeah, you cannot.
Bullshittery.
He has to talk to professionals. You cannot talk to a public. You have to talk to psychiatrists, people that can help him with because these people are crazy.
Whatever is the reason, guys, whatever is the reason in the weight change on different latitude, how can you connect it with the spin of the Earth?
Yeah, because they're supposedly saying that because it spins faster at the equator, you weight less or some shit like that.
Centrifugal and centripetal
Yeah.
forces, right? But it should work opposite.
It's bullshit, bro.
Go ahead, Sean.
Actually, it makes sense. If you're fucking crazy like him, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, it does.
You gotta be fucking crazy. You gotta be fucking
Exactly.
insane, and then it makes sense. You have to
Hey,
take
I
some
have
drugs.
I have the photos in pipeline, Vika. Whenever you're ready, it doesn't have to be now.
What photos? What are those?
From the book.
It's a photo or a video? What?
It's photos. It's 5 different photos from the book showing that people were skeptic about the Antarctica Treaty and about 900 deposits and what I just saw on the page of depósitos de minerales además importantes, bolsas de petróleo, like 900 deposits of minerals and important pockets of oil. 900. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So this is the book, Visual de Ecología, Clarín. And this is the page right here, the last sanctuary. Let me hide this right here. And this is, I don't think you see my mouse, but the article top left right there, I zoomed in on it. And if you see the longer sentence, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, where it says that, the third, numerosos geólogos sostienen que la Antártida alberga más de 900 depósitos de minerales, almost 900 deposits of minerals, además de importantes bolsas de petróleo, pockets of oil also. Aspiraciones o otro típico como por ejemplo well, they're skeptical of the treaty, basically. Like this whole article is like skeptical of the treaty. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit happening there in the south.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Vikka and everybody, I gotta go, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for letting me come
I
up.
was going to say the same thing. I have to go. It's like 2
Yes,
o'clock
I
in the
have
morning.
to go. I stayed longer than I was supposed to, but
Yeah.
thanks very much
I have
for
to.
everybody. All
Tron,
good.
let's stay in touch, man.
Seeing
Bye.
as flat earthers reject not only the globe.
Take care, guys.
Oh yeah, awesome, Tron. Yeah, thanks for passing by, bro. Have fun.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. See ya, Sam. Alrighty.
Globe, but also gravity, a change in weight based on latitude would be confirmation of the globe and leave the flat earth position with absolutely no explanation for this anomaly. Hear CT talk about the math behind the predictions, which are based not just on a globe, but a rotating spheroid.
These two forces, we can predict what anything should weigh anywhere on the Earth to within a small percentage. I mean, there's going to be variations. It's not going to be perfect. So you'll see that the gravitational force gets smaller as the...
Yeah, just because they want to call it a force doesn't make it a force, right? And they scribbling some fake numbers there to prove their
It's torture.
fake formula. Exact.
It's chalkboard torture. That's what this is. This is pretentious academics using this stupid shit to hide astrology. That's what this is.
Oh yeah, astrology and real maths.
Things that
That's
you can-
real maths.
To hide people from things that they can feel and connect with. To like, I'm a triple Libra. Well, now that doesn't matter because some fucking dumb psyop comes around trying to tell people you can cut a pizza into 13 slices. Like, it's not, astrology's fucking true. And yeah, this little math thing, that shit is torture. It does big G little g principles using Newtonian calculus, right? And not one item has ever been built with calculus. You can never take calculus and apply it to anything in reality. You can punch it into a computer and make it like show you art, but it's wizardry. It's black magic. It's torture.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. It's not a freaking force. It's just a negative acceleration on the X and Y axis that is up and down. That's it is.
It's dielectric acceleration, and what we live is the energy systems as evidenced by the torus field, which we can see with the aurora borealis and the aurora australis. This is for the audience here. I know the four of you have heard me say this before, but it's like we live in a diamagnetic torus field, and what's the phenomenon of something falling is dielectric acceleration, and it's explained perfectly well in plenty of Ken Wheeler's videos. Theoria apophasis. He's a pretty cool dude, you know. So whatever.
Oh yeah, acceleration can be positive, and acceleration can be positive or negative, right?
Yeah, and the Earth is a negative, and every item above the Earth is an electrostatic positive, and in magnetism, a positive attracts a negative just fine on a table, and so that's just happening in this direction. And so what force, and then they're pushing either the globe and gravity, or they're doing something worse than the globe with this upwards moving Earth trash that me and Gene are dealing with in these comments. And no offense to these guys, I'm not trying to be bad faith here, but it is a psyop. It is a direct psyop because they're hiding God from you.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely.
I don't know where they're coming from with this stuff. Every once
They're
in a
getting
while,
paid to
they
do this,
jump in.
man. Like,
Dude.
like I've literally seen videos of this level-headed William guy go on college campuses and literally with his tongue tell college students who have never heard of flat Earth before, don't watch any films about flat Earth. Just listen to me, look at my ping pong water bottle, okay, and watch it be attached to a 2x4 and some tape. And what is it? It's hypnosis. Okay, it's black magic. That's all it is. It's insistent. It's empty space. This is a Hegelian dialectic torture.
If you look at the videos that you get when you search like YouTube, like flat Earth, you're gonna get the rising flat Earth.
You get all the stupid shit first.
You get all the
That's
stupid
the
shit,
first
bro.
thing that Google pushes on people.
So
And then,
indoctrination, bro. MK Ultra is real, man.
yeah, and
It's real.
and it's like that's why they're trying to do all these rug pulls and disinfo campaigns to be like, well, first we'll throw the disinfo campaign into the truth movement, and then a year later we'll let NASA say, well, the math got wrong. Turns out the Fukco system is actually the 13th zodiac, and we're going to squeeze that in. So if you think you're a Virgo, you're actually probably a Leo, because we got to fit this snake in. Which, okay, so a Fucus is symbolized by a man holding a snake in old mythology, which, I mean, I'm sure Vikka knows more about that because he's from freaking that area where, you know more about that, I'm sure, just by your upbringing. But guess what? That's that thing holding the snake. Well, that's my sign. Libra is the thing holding the snake, and it's coming from the Scorpio system, which is a constellation. So it's a subcluster within the slice of pie of Scorpio, which has never shown parallax amidst its center of Polaris. And then that snake, it's facing Virgo, which is Eve. So in astrotheological circles and freaking syncretist movements, this like whole idea about the upwards moving Earth that's going on in this comment section here. Okay, first of all, we all know the globe is a reverse engineered masterpiece. The people who came up with it, I got to credit them. Really brilliant move to invert the systems, and the people who do figure it out go find each other 500 years later and actually become philosophers with it. But then if you want to subvert it, you're talking about inverting something that's already been reverse engineered. So you're going deeper and closer to the freaking hell depths of nothing, so that you and this false movement can create like an ideology out of something that doesn't exist. It's a religion. And this freaking level-headed William guy is absolutely paid by these freaks to do this shit. I'm so like I've been dealing people have been falling and bringing this like upwards moving earth psyop to my table for fucking years now. And it's like every time it's insistent, it's table
Yeah,
pounding,
bro.
it's
Oh yeah,
screaming,
bro.
it's
There are
insane.
many, brother. This is all distraction for
Yeah.
yeah, and I think this is the thing. TFE is also on a higher level with the
Yeah.
like pushing Earth or like pulling Earth with gravity and all this. It's just
Yeah.
to add that gravity spice to the flat Earth, right?
That's
We
right.
don't need it.
That's right.
We have better repeatable and testable science of how the elements it seeks equilibrium between them because of different pressures and densities and layers, right?
Yeah.
Real demonstrable science about
Yeah.
Hey,
density, buoyancy, electrostatics,
Yeah.
pressure,
Yeah.
gradients, and everything else.
And it's to hide the ether too. It's to hide the fifth element, ether, which by the way, like I know from astral projection that ether is as thick as water relative to your astral body, which you could read about, and Blavatsky calls it the etheric body double, which many of you may know about. But it's like, okay, so this ether is what crows dance on. So if you want to be objective and empirical, your science experiment doesn't even exist. The crows are the scientists. They're dancing in waves on top of that etheric level of like what's above the water, and it's just like less dense than oil. Oil floats on water too, and this whole thing about like, oh yeah, by the way, someone in the comment section, Zetetic Truth Tube, I'm sure you guys have seen his stuff. One of my first original influences of like awesome video mixtapes. This guy is an absolute wizard, man. He is a
Yeah, absolutely.
master.
Shout out to Tom Zenetic YouTube. Yeah, we
Dude, you
also
guys, like anybody listening in, Zetetic Truth
oh
Tube,
yeah.
like that all those mixtapes are like, my friends used to come over to my house. Even my globe believing friends would come over to my house and watch it, and they would just sit there and be speechless at his mixtapes. So it's like, yeah,
Oh
shout
yeah.
out Zetetic, like your work changes the world. I really appreciate what you're doing. I don't appreciate
Oh
that
yeah.
guy in here though. And,
Tom, his name is
sad.
guys. His name is Tom. Yeah, amazing.
Tom,
He
nice to
lives
meet you,
very
Tom. Thank you for
yeah. He lives very near to the North Pole. So amazing friend. We've been friends from a very long time. I could
Yeah.
say, yeah, one of my first real friends from YouTube was
Yeah.
Mr. Tom. We
I,
had
I,
we had
I
done
heard his
we had done
well,
collaborations too. Yeah.
like I've heard him talk on his videos, and his accent sounds like he's from like Norway or something. Is that right? Or
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
I'm pretty good at the accent thing, like figuring that out. But yeah, like,
oh
and
yeah.
the thing
Tom is
is like
awesome.
to do all this, like all these mind games about like hiding the ether and doing all this trash. The reason they're pushing this stuff is to sell people back on the idea of space above us, and to distract people from the fact that ether was removed from the periodic table in 1908. And basically, like, for people who are into materialistic physics, you will never figure out this ether stuff until you actually have an ego death that's like significant enough to think, oh, guess what? It might be a little isolating for like 2 weeks to think that you might be smarter than all the freaking professors at the university. But the constant appeals to these universities and saying all force requires all motion requires a force, and it's whatever. It's like, yeah, well, in my 9-hour video, my friend Taylor Price and I can move items with our mind, and so can this guy Ron, who's healer of gods on TikTok. And that's because we know we're not on a globe, and we know how to use electrostatics, and we know how to push centrifugal and centripetal force to push and pull items without touching them. That, oh yeah, what do they do with that in ideological circles? Is they deem us freaking gypsies, and then they do Nazi stuff and try to kill us. So the problem is this, like, materialistic physics must end. Because if it doesn't end, then we get to live in scientific totalitarianism. And that's why we
Yeah,
make
bro.
art. And the people who human shield for these CIA psyops aren't making art because they're not creative. And they just want to freaking litter in your comments sections like, basic physics. Like, I just need to rant a minute. But
If
man,
Oh
if
yeah, bro.
he's from Norway, Norway birthed a lot of like sailors that are sailing today, like at the extreme ends of the earth, like the north and the south.
yeah.
Like also like what was that Norwegian sailor? Because the Vikings were from Norway, and you got that Jarl Anderhoy that sailed the north and the south. Got three of his crewmates lost after sailing like 15 years when he reached the McMurdo station south from New Zealand. So that's very interesting. In my opinion, I knew what happened.
Oh yeah.
I know
Oh yeah.
exactly what
Do
happened.
oh yeah. Do check out his stuff. He's also the guy who did that Selenian eclipse in Norway. He was
Okay.
the first person who did that documentation with video, highest quality. He was there for few days there in the ice, and amazing stuff.
Did you
Anybody
did
wants
you
to see
did you ask
what?
him to speak to Jarl Anderhoy? Like you can ask him to speak to Jarl. I kind of start speaking. I kind of start talking to Jarl Anderhoy over Facebook, but I guess maybe it's some kind of pride thing that they don't speak to people outside of Norwegian. But you can ask them, man. That would be nice, so we can get some data, right? Some insight. If you can get an interview, man, that would be crazy.
Oh yeah,
Crazy. He's still alive. He's still going. The kid that was in the trip is still alive and still going. And it will be very interesting to speak to this guy. Like extremely interesting. Yeah.
nice. We'll continue with this. It's a bit left.
Gets bigger. So at the equator, where the Earth is a little bit fatter, the gravitational force will be a little bit less because of that. And also the centrifugal force gets greater as you get further away from the center of the Earth. So there's two things there to make something lighter at the equator. It also means that as you go up a mountain, for example, this will change because your R is different now and your weight will get lighter as well. Another thing to note is that Fy will get smaller as you move away from the equator. So the latitude increases, cos theta gets smaller, the radius of rotation gets a lot smaller, and so this centrifugal component will become less and less. At the same time, the gravitational component will become a little bit larger because the R will decrease slightly because of the oblate shape.
These are all just freaking speculations.
He's saying slightly because it's so minute that it doesn't even apply to reality. That's exactly what it is with all these like globe
Oh
shit
yeah,
that they talk
even
about every
even
day.
even a fart maybe weighs 1,000 times more than the differentials of variation he found.
You
Right?
know what they're saying now on TikTok with long distance observations. You're actually tilting your head down 0.04 degrees to look at the horizon.
What?
Oh yeah, bro. Because that's what it has to be, based on their bullshittery, right? Because it's geometrically the horizon has to be falling with the height. And then we have somebody in Facebook. I don't remember the guy's name. I'm pretty sure you guys saw the video. He's in an elevator and he has his camera leveled with a tripod to the horizon, and then a level to the horizon, and you can clearly see when he's going up the elevator, the horizon stays exactly at eye level. He went up like 40 feet. We need somebody to get into like the biggest towers, like the one in like Saudi Arabia, and do the same experiment to debunk the whole shit that they're saying that the horizon drops with eye
Oh
level. But
yeah,
that's what they're saying.
this can be even done on a huge bridge around the sea, because here you have the bridges that when you pass on those bridge, when you get on the top part and you just start going down, you can see the sea at your eye level at that height of the bridge. That bridge is really high, right? And when you're coming down that bridge, you have the horizon of the sea in front of you, and the way you're going down, the horizon is going down with you right there at your level, right? The same thing happens in the opposite way, right? From your level to the beach, to the coast, till you go up higher on the bridge, it's gonna rise with you, right? Those are
Well,
really lot of feats.
yeah, we have. I have evidence of a pilot showing a local Aruban pilot that created one of the Facebook pages, and he showed a video where he put a water bottle on top of the cockpit, and he filmed it, and he's like, look, there's no the horizon is not behind the water bottle. But he didn't understand how to work with I'm a construction worker, bro. I know how to work with a level and how the water bubble levels out. And what he didn't do is I cut the video exactly when you see that water going like this, and aligning. And when it aligned with the camera straight on the opposite side at 30,000 feet, you see the horizon aligning perfectly with the water bottle. I re-edited that video and showed him his own shit. He quit. After 3 years of having that Facebook page, he handed it to me. He got quiet. He didn't speak. And now he's kind of coming back after like a year and a half, slowly. But it was like a shocker to him to realize that, hey, these the HUD up displays, the F-19 HUD up displays, and all that shit that are supposedly showing the curvature dropping with the altitude, it's all lies, bro. When you actually take a water bottle and put it in front of you on the cockpit and make sure that you see that water level out, you'll see the horizon right behind it. I have the footage, bro. I have the footage.
I have uploaded a
Maybe
video of
later.
a guy. I have uploaded a video of a pilot guy with a water bottle, and he's saying that he can literally use that water bottle as in place of the ADI when it's cloudy, because it's more reliable
Oh no, I
than
saw that.
the
I saw that.
ADI.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw it.
Because it's level water, right? No matter how you move the bottle, the water is gonna be level, right? So he could make up his idea of if he needs to go above the cloud or through the cloud because of that level thing, right? Imagine he can literally see that. That's nature's ADI, most powerful, right? You could imagine a flight that an ADI gets spoiled, but at that bottle of water might save the life of the pilot and everybody there. That's the power of flat water, level water to the horizon, right? To the horizontal plane. It's nature's gyro.
Of the Earth. So the net effect is as you move away from the equator, the weight will increase. So here I've worked an example. So if I were to take 1,000 grams of weight and weigh it on an accurate scale at the equator, and then go to 30 degrees latitude without recalibrating the scale, then it should weigh 1,001.31 grams. Now that is a very small change. So you can see.
But what the fuck are you doing, dude? What are you speaking about? Right? It's almost like 1,000th of or 100th of a gram. Dude, come on. These guys have to be kidding, dude, to make this shit up, dude. Really. And calling it a rotation and the movement of the earth. Holy shit.
If you want to measure this, you're going to need an accurate and stable scale.
Now, this is highly technical, but no one said math and science.
Highly technical. Are you guys out of your mind, dude? Yeah. Really taking some weight and putting on a scale and showing that there's a 1,000th of a gram this different because we are on this latitude. Are you freaking guys out of your mind?
Is that what he said? 1,000th of a gram?
It's almost. Or 100th of a gram or 1,000th of a gram, dude. That's too.
That's like so insignificant. It should be way more. No, if it's 100 pounds between, if it's 1 pound and 100 from between the equator and the poles, it should be way more than that.
Well, it goes from 1,000 miles per hour to 0 miles per hour. It should have a big drastic change. But no, 1,000th of a gram, that's what it is. Just like that 0.04 degree downward tilts for you to see the horizon.
That's like a speck of dust.
It's negligent. It is.
Give us at least, yeah, give us
it's negligent.
Guys, give us at least 10 grams. Give us at least 10 grams.
At
that
least
people
one.
can. No, or even 10. 10 might be good, right? Because maybe people can buy a 1,000, like 1 kilo of gold, right? And when you come to the south, it's at least 100 grams more, right?
It's worth it.
Holy shit, dude.
We're easy. If we want to do real science, we must move past elementary arguments.
Real science, right? This is real scientific method of the globe being proved with its rotation, because they found 0.000001 gram difference. Guy, this is real science, guys.
Such as, it looks flat to me and I don't feel any rotation. Again, anyone can see for themselves the variation in weight with just an inexpensive scale. Listen as CT goes over the steps he completes at each new location where he performs this experiment.
Now, I've taken measurements at temperature, magnetic field, pressure, and GPS position and elevation. I did try to get accelerometer readings, but I found they're too unreliable, so I didn't include those. Now, here's the method. I level the scales. They have adjustable feet and a bubble.
Yeah, quite curious. Leveled. Yep, leveled the scale to what? What degrees, right? On your location, right? Why level?
Indicator of level. Weigh 500 grams on each scale, including the portable one. Swap the weights on scales 1 and 2, and then weigh two 500-gram weights on the one scale on scale 1 and scale 2, because scale 3 only went to 500. Take my environment readings, and I've recorded all readings in here.
CT's experiment has been conducted 140 times all over the world, spanning 6 continents. And the best part? Anyone can do this. All you need is a $20 scale, which means the flat Earth.
Yeah, it's all cheap shit for proving cheap, like fakery, right? A globe, a $3 globe, right? Is there real science, right? Yeah. Get a $20 scale, put the weight on it. There's a very minute, undetectable variation, and there you have it. The globe is proven. Easy way out. Right? Easy way out.
Earthers' typical response of calling this fake or calling critical think a liar won't work, as anyone can see this for themselves with just a very inexpensive scale. But as I mentioned, I have not seen any flat earthers who are interested in experimentation and following the scientific method. Now, predictions are at the heart of real science, and watch CT make predictions for the final experiment for both Punta Arenas, Chile and Union Glacier, Antarctica, 2 places he'd never been.
Now I've conglomerated all my measurements, combined them along with other people's measurements, and you see it's nicely clustered around the rotating spheroid model, which is a very, very powerful evidence. And as I've shown before with statistical analysis, the chances are that this is all just a mistake and by accident is a 0 point something with more than 20 zeros after it, and 1. The chances of that being an accident. So this is pretty powerful and great evidence that yes, we live on a globe, and yes, it's rotating. And when we go to Punta Arenas, we're expecting a number in this area, and at Union Glacier, we're expecting a number in this area.
That video was released November 23rd, 2024, a little over 2 weeks before our trip. And those predictions were made based on WGS 84, which states that we live on a rotating spheroid. And here is the most important part. Those predictions differ not only from what is expected on a flat Earth, which is no variation whatsoever. Those predictions also differ from a rotating sphere that is not a spheroid. Yes, this experiment accurately predicts a variation in weight based on specifically a rotating spheroid, while simultaneously predicting that weight variations which would be expected on a rotating sphere will not be observed. This is how science is done. Now let's watch what happened when CT conducted his experiment at Union Glacier while we were all in Antarctica for TFE.
I've got something very important to do with the weight measurement at Union Glacier. I've got to repeat it in a more stable environment, and here we are. I'm going to turn this around. Here we are in the dining hall, and I've got this set up on the serving bench, which is probably the most level place in the whole Union Glacier. So I've got 0 point 1 degrees there, and 0.1. This is the best place to do the measurement. So we're going to go ahead with the best scale I got, which the prediction is 1003.80. So down there outside it was 1003. We waited around about 76. So in here a little bit more stable environment. It's a little bit more 1000, but it's still 1003 is settled down to 0.82, which is 0.02 of a gram from what was
0.02 of a gram.
Hey, let me say something. First of all, that area right there where they're at, Union Glacier Camp, has an elevation of 2,000 feet. I don't literally believe that they are there, but I have a family member that just went to Colombia to an area that had, I think it was 1,500 feet of elevation. And he has pressure problems, like a lot of people are having these past days, pressure problems with the blood, etc. Comes with
and with breathing and everything,
with breathing and with problems that are occurring a lot lately, right? I never seen a person, a worker, or anybody in any of these videos having any kind of pressure problems. That's kind of weird. And also, if they even were there, when you're at high elevations, stuff somehow way less. I'm not sure about what it is, but it way less than when you're at the floor. So I don't know if he took that into consideration, if he mentions it or whatever. I don't know, but that's a proven fact.
Oh yeah, bro. So the amount these people are speaking about, dude, could be pressure, could be the temperature, right? Could be the electrostatics, right? Things depending on the temperature can contract and expand, dude. And the amount these people are speaking about, dude, 200 of a gram, dude.
That's off. That's wrong. It's that calculation is wrong.
This is their scientific experiment. A $20 scale with two weights and 200 of a gram of difference, which could be freaking any other region. And they want us to believe that's the rotation and that the sphericity of the globe. That proved it. That's their scientific method.
It's exactly like the same thing they're doing with the Fukco's pendulum, and then Eric Dubay found in their blueprints of these things freaking a machine at the top of it that makes it move. Meanwhile, in the same exact world, we have construction machinery out in New Jersey with freaking building breaking balls that hang just deeper and more intensely than Foucault's pendulum would in a museum, and they sit perfectly still. Isn't that crazy? And it's just more of this evidence that the Earth is just not moving. It's crazy. That's and
oh yeah, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is the thing, right? These people don't have real science just because they are putting up some numbers and they're seeing those minute details, minute variation that is almost undetectable, right? Right. So, and could be for various reasons, right?
Right. And I'm reading
Not because you're asking an R retard there.
Vikka, maybe you can help. There's a guy, he probably just left here, but he's saying that there's zero proof for the existence of ether, which is no, that's not true.
Yeah, I'm
And
surprised Lon's saying that too. I don't understand what
I don't
he's
know
saying.
what I mean I don't know if people get paid to do that, and I don't know this guy, but maybe he's a good guy, like, right? And maybe he really is confused, right? And it's just the ether is the free energy in the atmosphere, and he's like, he's getting really angry with me in the comments because he's saying you need to define it, and it's like, what do you want me to do? Go leave this conversation and grab like 18 dictionaries from freaking the bookstore before 1908 when these fucking world controllers pulled it out of the existence of the periodic table? They used to have 138 elements, now they have 137. This is free energy in the atmosphere, and it's so simple. It's a philanthropist's sales job. And if anybody wants to know what my definitions for the ether are, I'm writing a book on my Substack. You could just Command F your way through my thing until you find the word you're looking for. But I'm not, for someone who's confused, maybe you guys can take the weight off me, because I'm just like, yeah, okay, so to keep it simple, I would say it's electricity in the atmosphere. But to be deeper, ether is far more than that, because it's an inner world journey, and it's also like it's a field modality. It's also an experience. This is something only you can prove within your own two hemispheres of mind, and so it's a thing that can only be experienced. So then, if you were to be empirical and scientific, we would call the crows to be scientific and say that the crows are dancing on it, right? So what do you guys think would satiate this guy's definition for what the ether is? Because he wants me to do it in the comment section, which is impossible. But
I would ask him, do you know what tropospheric scatter propagation is?
I've heard of it, but yeah, that's a good way to. You could probably take it away from me.
How is the electromagnetic frequencies bouncing off from something up there and coming back to Earth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
this has been done for ages. I'm sorry, this has been done for ages. Like, they've been bouncing off like EMF off of something up there, coming back down to Earth for ages. This is a proven fact, bro. So try to find out what's bouncing off that.
Yeah, and if this was and it's kind of like, I would have to use mythological metaphor perhaps, and like you would look at like something like the Star Wars movies, and like Luke Skywalker moving items with his mind without touching him. And the fact that like my friend Taylor and Ron and myself, we can move items without touching them. It's like, well, that's that's not safe to throw on the internet all the time, but also it's a disproof of materialistic physics. And then you get you always have these people who just really get angry about it, because there's like a resentment thing. But it's like, dude, if you're listening in to flat earth conversations here, you have more of an open mind than most people who are stuck in colleges. So instead of, my advice to this guy who probably already left, like, there is nothing in me that wants to see someone upset about misunderstanding something. It's just, you can't like go in a comment section and call me a retard and then expect me to go pick up my dictionary and satiate your demand for a definition. That's all. So, and Geo, my name's Ira James, by the way. I don't know your first name. If you don't want to share it online,
it's Max. I don't care.
Oh, hi, Max. Okay, I want to call you by your name, and I don't want to call you geocentric all the time.
Yeah, we've been on TikTok for 3 years, so
yeah, dude, that's what's
everybody knows me by my name, and that's my real name.
Can you guys I just want to make sure, just in case you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, we can. I can, Gene.
All right, I lost power. That's why I'm asking. Sitting in the dark.
You lost power. What?
Oh yeah.
You lost
Ether,
power.
guys. Before we continue, this is the thing. Ether did, like, according to at least my understanding, that for sure we cannot understand everything that this creation is, but it's like the ether could be, we could call the God itself.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're first.
No, you go ahead. Well, I just wanted to say I have a video in pipeline about the leveling of the water bottle to the horizon on 30,000 feet. If you wanna pop it in. I don't know if you're shut it down, Vikka. I was just turning on my AC. I took my headphones out for a second.
Cool. Cool.
Well, I mean,
So
and
yeah.
again, it's just something where it's like, okay, like in the book Beyond Good and Evil, Friedrich Nietzsche was saying that every word is a mask upon the meaning of which it's attempting to even define. So it's like, it's a demand by Nietzsche to, like tell people that there's an inner world, which he talked about a lot in his books. And it's like, that inner world is useful because it requires silencing the mind and going into things that are not materialistic and with words. You have to go beyond words and thoughts, silence your five senses, and then you can start discovering your inner world. But like, there's many people I think are not aware that this inner world even exists because of what materialistic science has done to us all by proxy, right? It's told people that you can't speak upon anything that's mysterious if you don't have peer-reviewed data about it. And it's like, okay, well then if you want peer-reviewed data or whatever, I don't value those things. But Richard Feynman, who you were showing earlier, the scientist, wrote an entire paper called Electricity in the Atmosphere. And it's useful because I don't think he knew about ether. I think that he found that there was an electric charge that's directly in the atmosphere, and he did applied sciences about that shit. But I'm just saying 1964, he might have been a fucking great teacher of Aristotelian science, and he might believe in space, but he didn't have freaking YouTube every Sunday to talk to his friends about why the world might be flat. He didn't have social media. He didn't have an email. He had a classroom full of people who were learning from him on, how to disprove things. And that's all science does. Science is not the top of reality. The scientific method is useful for proving what things are not.
But this is, brother, this is the reason, Ira, this is the reason I always say that you cannot just prove what this realm is rationally, right? You need to see it. You need to see it from the other eyes and feel it, and then only you're gonna see the real side of what it is, right?
Right.
What is reality for us, right? Everything physical doesn't mean that it's eternity, right? Or it's physical, or this is the reality, right?
Because we know there are things that are beyond science, and that even if we're just to use philosophy itself, the products created in the realms of thought for utilitarian and rationality, reason, these things that these old philosophers talk about, these are insufficient modalities to even define what reality is. And we shouldn't be putting words to absolutely everything. We should simply experience it. And maybe it's better to, like do a show and tell, like what we're about to see in Max's video here, if that's Max's video.
Yeah.
And that's the point, is like, there are some things that we can show and display. That's why my film doesn't have like dialogue. And it's like, I can understand, and I feel deeply for this guy, even though he called me a retard in the comment section. I still empathize
He's a good guy.
greatly. I'm not mad. I'm just like, it's okay. I bet this is.
Oh yeah, but this is the thing. There are people saying many different things. Sometimes I'm not even seeing the chat. So anyway, what are we seeing, and how long is gonna?
Yeah, let me explain. It's very short, man. My videos are short. Let me explain some of this video. So I have a hard disk. It's a metal hard disk, and it's flat, right? So just replace the top of this hard disk with the level water right there. So if you see, like, look at my eyes, and if I'm leveling this right here, so if the surface is leveled right there, I don't know what's going on after it goes up like this, but if I can see the one side of the water and it's coming to meet with the level, that's level right there. Because when it keeps on moving, I don't know what's going on after that. But I'm looking at this water bottle, right? And I'm having 2 points of the water inside the bottle. And I can see that this point is raising up. And right after you don't see the one behind there anymore, you can consider that kind of level.
Like a barrel of a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
But imagine it goes from point A, like point A would be the side of the water on the bottle that's closest to you, point B, the other side of the bottle, point C being the horizon, which is the
Right.
limit of what you can see.
Yeah.
And that, and imagine there, I mean, you know, entertain a thought that there's a straight line between the three, and it's perfect. And you could do this with, like, if you needed to do a bigger freaking glass thing to level water like that, to, you know, exaggerate the level of that, then I guess you could, but you know, mind, it's difficult to balance water like that. I guess you would need a glass bucket. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
so this is a slowed down video and a cropped video because he was displaying all of the cockpit and everything like that. But I was focusing on the level of the water, and you can clearly see now when I hit play that the front side, where of course you have 2 points of water. You have the back side of the bottle, and you have the front side. And you can see the front side coming up and aligning with the back side. And then anything after that, you should consider as if you don't know, because we cannot see the other side of the line. But as soon as that rises and stops right there, and you can see that it's flat, that's level right there. And the guy did a funny thing to try to like say that, oh no, there's no level, there's no horizon when the water bottle's level on the airplane. And when I took this video and I chopped it off and I edited it and I replayed his original video, he got shocked. So let me just play it real quick so you can see what's happening. It's slowed down. Boom. Hold on. Right, like that's a little bit too high already. But if I go back, you can see that. There you go. You see that? You see now you can see the 2 points. You can see the one in the front, and you can see the one in the back. And when you hit play, and the front side of the water bottle raises up, there you go. Boom. That's it. And you can see that it's flat. Anything beyond that, when it's go higher up, you see that now you can see the other side of it kind of like going out of sync. I had a better one, but this is very old videos that I had. Where there we go. So you can see.
Yeah.
Hold on. There you go. This is a better one.
Yeah.
So
and I guess I sorry to interrupt, Max. I just think like when I've seen the infrared distance into the vanishing point.
Boom. There you go. Look at that.
Where this is leveling goes exactly to that point. And then like the infrared vanishing point, it goes even further than what the eye can see if you zoom. And it's like, this is still perfectly in line with
this guy
the
gave
convergence of the vanishing point of the horizon.
This guy gave you like the best proof. I studied the video for one night, and I'm like, oh man, this guy is screwed, bro.
Yeah, this rules, dude. Like, holy
look at it. I'm gonna play it again. So now it's more drastic, and you can see. I wasn't playing the correct part, and now you can see the 2 points. I wish that you could see my mouse.
Yeah.
But you can see the front side of the water, and you
they're
can see the
pointing
back
to it.
side, right? And now that the front side is rising up, boom. There you
it's
go.
like as
Look at
accurate as a freaking sniper scope. Dude, this is a crazy brilliant experiment, dude. It's so simple.
Anyone telling you that heads-up display is showing like the curvature dropping with the elevation? Well, this is 30K feet right there. You can get up higher if you want to. So
did you go up there and film this?
No, it was a pilot that posted his video.
That's good enough. I mean, that's fine. Like,
yeah,
we
and he was laughing.
None of us have money.
No, I fly, bro. I'm gonna be flying at the end of this month, so I wish I could get something.
I'll eventually do it. But like, it's just traps.
I think I'm probably one of. Well, I wish for people to do this more. I am probably one of the only guys that have recordings of stars on an airplane with a P900.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh, so you're
that's
getting
insane.
Real up in the grill of them.
Well, it's crazy, bro. It's a long topic. I don't want to like derail.
No, you're good, man.
The whole
Oh
thing,
yeah.
but
So
it's a long
this is the thing, guys. This is awesome too, right? For like simple things like this also shows that the horizon is not dipping, right? And this can continue on a longer flight and just is gonna maintain that level, right? For sure. Guys, I wanted to play one thing more before we start really wrapping it up. We are almost 3 hours, but yeah, I wanted to play this interesting video I'm gonna play. Are you done, Gio?
Oh yeah, no, just pop it out, bro.
Yeah, so you can take it out. I'm gonna add.
Oh, I don't want you. I don't want your screen to become black, so you can.
No,
pop
no
it out.
worries. No. You can take it out. It's no problem.
Okay. Oh, okay. I did it a couple of times on a couple of
Alrighty.
other like YouTube lives, and it displayed your screen black, and I didn't like that, so it was just empty.
A lot of people want you to think that you are a monkey living in a spinning ball inside of a vacuum, right? Traveling at over 1.4 million miles per hour.
I love this guy, man.
Yeah.
You just don't feel it.
We know that he's Mikey Scribner.
Yeah, there are
Mike Scribner.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, bro. Yeah.
He's actually back, man. I can bring him on his live if you want to. He's actually back. He started doing lives back, and I can
Oh
I can
yeah,
bring
for
him
sure.
on there, yeah.
Whenever you want. Yeah.
Cool. He's a funny guy, man.
Right on.
Make you think and or believe that you are a monkey on a spinning ball, right? One of them is the Cavendish experiment. So I looked it up and I said, is the Cavendish experiment a scientific method experiment? It says, yes, the Cavendish experiment is a widely considered a scientific method experiment that follows a scientific method. All right, dope. So it proves gravity. And then I come across this. While it's impossible to truly isolate gravity as a constant in a scientific method experiment, what? Now hold on. I just want you to understand. The only way to know that something is a fact, right, is through the scientific method experiment. Now, the only way to know, right, if a scientific method experiment has been proven correct is if you can verify a constant. It's impossible to truly isolate gravity as a constant. Meaning, it's not a scientific method fact. Meaning Google just lied here. Cavendish experiment is not a scientific method experiment to prove gravity. Because, well, Google debunked itself. The fuck? So the next experiment, obviously, right, is the Fukco pendulum. Obviously, if the Earth is what's causing the motion, the Earth would start and or cause the motion of the Fukco pendulum, correct? Not so sure. I asked, can the Fukco pendulum start by itself? What did it say? No, the Fukco pendulum cannot start swinging on its own. What? So we have no scientific method proof of curvature. We have no scientific method proof of motion. Interesting, right? So we are told, right, that when it comes to flat Earth or heliocentrism, right, the whole curvature and the whole, we say that the heliocentrism just wrapped a flat Earth around a ball. They're like, no. Flat Earth just took a ball and then made the map flat. Okay, well, let's see which map came first, because obviously whichever thought process and or map came first would debunk the other, right? So hold on. So if curve and motion have not been proven through a scientific method-based experiment in the heliocentric community and or globe Earth, and then every time we talk about how, well, the globe is just a projection of a Gleason's map or a flat Earth map wrapped around a ball, they're like, well, no. Flat Earth is just a projection of the globe projected flat. Well, let's stop that nonsense. And let's see which one came first, right? Does the flat Earth come first or does heliocentrism come first? I'm curious. So I asked, right? Did flat Earth cosmology come before heliocentrism? Yes. Flat Earth cosmology predates heliocentrism cosmology. Ancient civilizations like those of Egypt and Babylon generally believe the Earth is flat. So basically, it wasn't until Rockefeller, Rothschild, J.P. Morgan, and or Western civilization, and or religion, Christianity, Catholic,
started to come about. All of a sudden, everything changed, and then, well, that must mean it's true, right?
Yeah, he's
This guy's funny, man.
he's on point. And I'm sure you've tried this before, but one of my first intrigues into like magic languages is definitely Latin, and how in school we were told and insisted upon every year, Latin's a dead language. Latin's a dead language. Don't worry about Latin. No one speaks Latin. It's so funny. It's where we base our languages on. But then take scientific, the word, and then split it into three. SCI space ENTI space fic, and you translate that from English to Latin, and the translation, it says to know that it is fiction, which is exactly like what the Aristotelian scientific method actually is. That's all it does. It proves what things are not. And to sit there and like, here's what scientists think. If we're going to put that at the top of our society, the problem obviously is exactly that. Scientific totalitarianism is what we live in. Hence why we have boxes and gas stations everywhere. But like, it's so funny because that, like, to know that it is fiction, then a scientist who's pretentious enough might, instead of eating an apple and be like, yeah, I would like an apple, he's going to inject it with a vaccine and then call it a Malus domestica because it's evolutionary definition. It's like, these are freaking mind games.
Or appeal. That's the actual thing that they're doing on apples.
No
Bill
way.
Gates. Oh yeah, appeal. APWEL. Yeah, that's real.
These people are just rug pulling and moving goalposts, and they're running out of this. There's like, nobody wants to do this. Like, freaking kids right now are figuring out that if they can just break toilets with fireworks, that they can flood their schools and get off, not have to go to school for 2 weeks. That's what kids are figuring out right now. And my advice to parents out there is to get your kids out of public school and take them to see a hardcore show or something and do something productive. Quit going to these schools. College doesn't have value to me. Like, it's like some of it does, like the trade schools. Like, yeah, there's a lot of really brilliant people there. And, you know, Max, you were saying you work in construction, but I'm sure Max, in your experience in construction, I'm sure maybe you've done it for years, even a little bit. I've done a little bit too. But like, we have people in those fields who cut corners, and then we have Instagram videos and TikToks that are going viral of construction inspectors who go up to $800,000 houses with all these guys who cut all these corners, and these houses get like a tiny thunderstorm and they fall over. Which, if someone bought the house for $800,000 and these people make their money, get check in hand, paid up front, these houses will hurt people and kill them. It's wrong. Like, this is why some of my works on Substack, I do reference, like, I'm not talking about all construction workers. I think you get that. But I'm definitely saying these butt hair picking construction workers who are doing like heroin and freaking porta potties and stuff. Yeah, their corner cutting is going to get people freaking killed. And also these architects who take their graduate degree, design one shitty looking fucking building with glass all over it, and then they retire in their 20s off of one freaking design, and their buildings look like shit. They don't even put their own names on it. Like, what this all requires, in my opinion, is comedy roast. Like,
well, now you don't have to. Now you just ask AI to build you a plan, and it will build a plan. So everyone with an education nowadays is gonna be used. Hey, that's a good topic, Vikka. But the whole thing about Palantir in between Elon Musk and Trump, I don't like to go politics. But this is a total AI control takeover that people are not like literally looking at.
We don't want to go in politics for sure, and
but this is now. Not right now, not right now. But I'm talking about this is big stuff, bro. This is total control. This is what do they call it in Terminator? I forgot the name.
Rise of the Machines.
No, there's a name for it. Somebody in the chat is gonna.
Oh, come on, chat, help us.
From
Share.
atheists?
Come
No,
on, Joanne, you got us, right?
Skynet. Skynet.
Skynet. There you go. There you go. No, this
Yeah.
is, bro. Palantir is Skynet, and it's not even a joke. $162 billion deal. The big plan that he's trying to do. That's all of that, and nobody's looking at this because the whole Elon Musk versus Trump is going on. It actually has to do with that.
Yeah.
But people don't see it to what it is. A question, Vikka, do you know what Cuneo Quanto? Have you ever seen the Cuneo Quanto map?
Maybe if I see, I might remember exact name. Yeah, I've seen many maps. Yeah, we have done various podcasts, like 3-4 hours on different old maps and everything.
Yeah.
There you go, bro.
And Max, I
It's in
want
the-
to
it's
say
in
to
the
you, man,
share.
like I want to say, Max, if you want to unpack these things, these rare like things that many people don't know about, dude, come as a guest on my podcast. I gotta work my new job a little bit and get my trap set. But in a few weeks, like watch a little bit of my works and then be my guest on there. And then I'll, me and Taylor's episode is 9 hours long. I don't care how long you want to talk in there. Like if you want to unpack like things that get censored on YouTube, Substack. My Substack is the place. I got you. Like
that guy that you just saw, Mike. Like he had to change his complete character and attitude to comply with TikTok because he got banned like 3 to 4 times. He should be like here on YouTube because he will make a lot more here on YouTube than on TikTok because all he does is get banned and banned and banned. I took these Chinese writings and converted it all to to English through Grok, and they're talking about a stationary non-moving Earth, and they're talking about the celestial dome. They don't refer to the Earth spinning. They don't refer to a globe. They don't refer to any of that shit. You look at all these translations right here, and this is like what 1402 or something like that. If you take all these these areas, cut it out, put it in Grok, and ask them to translate it to you over to English, and it will do, and it will tell you all of these. This is the writings on Antarctica has no relations to Antarctica. It's all about the celestial. Like they're talking about, it's a celestial map. Basically, that's what it is. I saw Antarctica so big, and I'm like, holy crap! I'm gonna find some Antarctica information right here, but it's not. But if you do it yourself and you go check it out, you see that they're not talking about any motion. They're talking about the flat Earth. They're talking about a dome, etc., etc. Check it out. So it's called the name is up there. It's called the Kunyu Wangu Quantum Map. It's let me write it.
Oh God,
that's awesome.
It's a weird name.
Dude.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's almost look like with the ice wall and everything, right? If you
Oh
see it.
yeah, bro. Oh yeah, that's what attracted me, man. That's all me. You know me with Antarctica, man.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely, guys. So yeah, we are almost done for tonight. This is the thing. Mr. Will Duffy is too desperate to prove his fake globe, and yeah, his 24-hour sun didn't work. Right, his pilot shit didn't work. Right, this variation thing. Yeah, 200th of a gram. Come on, dude, do something more. That is more fun to even contradict. Right, this just shows that these guys have really nothing other than it's the same pattern, like fake numbers, fake mental gymnastics, twisting of things, and just because this is happened, so that it's not working.
Yeah,
it's not working. So anyway, guys, we will have our last thoughts for tonight, and yeah, we're gonna be wrapping it up. So anyone who wants to go first, yeah, go ahead.
I'll take it. Give it 2 seconds. Everyone, thanks for having me. Anybody listening along, I made my works here, proxyearth.substack.com, which you can follow my hand here. And I made a cool film called Vanishing Point. It's an art film. It's a little bit mysterious. It definitely helps break the whole globe spell. I have a new special where this gentleman named Taylor Price, he has a lot of really good solutions, especially, you're going to want to hear out a lot of his stuff via his interview with me. The interview is called Escaping the Matrix, Academic Prisons of Artificial Reality Systems. And for fun, he actually watched my film 3 times, really enjoyed it, and it turned into a giant comedy roast. And, you know, Will Duffy and Karenism and all these upwards moving earth freaks are definitely getting slaughtered in that 9-hour video. And don't be daunted by the length of my videos, and, you know, have fun with my articles. I welcome responses, whatever. But, you know, something that's a 9-hour shape, it's meant to be played and paused at your own leisure. You know, don't eat a giant meal all at once. Just, you know, have a few hors d'oeuvres. Take your time. But I welcome people to visit me there, because I keep getting censored on mainstream platforms. I can make funny little 5-minute TikTok videos, but I can only say so much on them, because we have to speak in code. We can't say certain words, because then, you know, it's really insane, and we have to do it creates more work for us to go on these big tech platforms that are controlled by Skynet and freaking that's why Substack is a good alternative. Right now I'm noticing a lot of my traffic is a lot of guests who might not have Substacks, and that's cool. You don't have to join Substack to enjoy most of my content. Some people go on there and they just sign up via their email, and it's a lot of fun. But anything I have that's flat earth related or related to the terrain model of health, in which there is no such thing as a VIRU, you know, the last letter, $, right? There's no such thing as that. And it's actually exosomes that they're looking at, which is the body's reaction to having been poisoned. So they've created ontological sciences to confuse people who are looking into the microscope. And what's problem, and the problem of what's brought us all together in these conversations, is these ontological sciences have weaponized everything from the microscope to the telescope, and in between, the lying veteran who's claiming to account for the motion of the Earth using a sniper scope. Yeah, they're lying. And also, atomic veterans are committing stolen valor. They didn't see any of those giant explosions, those mushroom clouds. And I have information about that stuff, which will make you feel a lot better. I break the spells of totalitarian sorcery with reversals. And I would challenge that I might not have all the answers for everybody, but I do hope it equips your intuition and it makes your friends and your loved ones laugh and have a good time. Just go start with my film Vanishing Point and have a laugh. Like, just enjoy it. Like, it's got intermissions so you can have smoke breaks. I really set my traps. I put my entire life into this. I was a hardcore drummer before this. I'm writing new albums and stuff, but I wouldn't have stopped and taken 5 years of my life to commit to making such intense work about these topics. So anything flat earth and terrain, any of that stuff, as long as it's not a rough draft, it is full transparency. It's free to watch. Like, I have nothing to hide. So thank you for your time, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
For passing by, bro. Awesome as always. Gio.
Yo, thank you, Vikka. Thank you, Gene. As always, bro. You guys are awesome. Keep on pushing. Keep on doing what you're doing. You know, I do a lot of work on TikTok. I have a channel, Geocentric Truth, on YouTube itself. I have a model, actual model, flat Earth model.
Where can I find your website, Max?
It's YouTube, a YouTube channel.
Called Geocentric Truth?
Geocentric Truth. It's a little bit hard to find, so when you're looking for the name, just type it and click users, not videos. And you should see a flat earth thing right there, and you should know it's me. It's got kind of a white and blue map with the land masses being brownish, greenish.
And I recently joined TikTok. Can I find you on there too?
Oh yeah, Geocentric.
What's your handle on TikTok?
Let me see what it is.
I think it's all same. It's all same. Geocentric. Yeah. You're gonna find him as Geocentric.
Geocentric Earth. Geocentric Earth.
You can probably go to one of our pages and find them on there.
Okay. Yeah, you can follow. If you're following us, you can find him in our friend list.
Yeah,
yep, go ahead and complete your thought.
Yeah,
Geo.
Yeah. I love maps, just like Vikka. I love the Monte Urbano map, and I realized that in between the 1500s to the 1700s, the maps was pretty real compared to what they started publishing in the 1800s to the 1900s. And I dug in through like a bunch of encyclopedias, finding out that the Freemasons started taking over the universities and the education system and all of that. For the people that think we're wackos, that's what's on the $1 bill. So that's it. The Freemason logo. So it's right there in front of you to see. Anyways,
Bingo.
thank you, bro. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, Gio, thanks for passing by, bro. Awesome. Gene.
Hey guys, I think that was pretty good, really good show, guys. It went a little sideways here and there. The chat went crazy, but that's cool. It was fun, interesting. Yeah, a hundredth of a gram. Like what is that? Like a nanosecond? Is that the
Negligible, bro.
right? I don't know, but the weight differential that they're claiming on the globe, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really don't. So now 100-ton plane only weighs what, 90 tons now? Is that how that goes? That doesn't make any sense, guys. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you ripped it up, Vikka. I didn't hear the whole show, man. I have to go back and listen to a bunch because my connection was just horrible today. But no, thanks to everybody in the chat that stuck around and is always here. Anybody new, it's great to see you all. And looking forward to the next show, bro. Thanks, Vikka. I know it's late for you, so I'm not gonna go too crazy. But the weight differential doesn't make any sense. They couldn't have that. That would just throw so much commercial business off that it is. It's comical, right? It's laughable.
No building would stand ever.
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. Thanks, bro. And yeah, we can see it literally. These people don't have anything, right? They never had anything. They're not gonna have anything, right? It's just pure word salad and mental gymnastic to twist and try to put it around the globe, right? But it's not working. They want to dress it up like, put that many other fake letters and numbers there. Yeah, you see, this is the force. This is what is happening. Nothing is provable, right? Just because you took some numbers from a fake site, which have many sites like this, right? And you are even contradicting yourself of being Earth totally circled to be a spheroid with the chubby and all this bullshit, right? Weight differences could be for anything, temperature, right? Pressure, electrostatics, many other magnetic declination, many different things could be affecting, right, for the changes of the weight and for a higher altitude or a lower altitude or at a different latitude at a different time of the year, right? Many things can be different, right? So it's not because of the rotation of the earth or because it's a sphere, right? These people don't have really anything. So yep, there you have it, guys. Mr. Will Duffy needs to work hard, right? And
Oh, we're gonna keep
so
him.
we are here.
We're gonna make him work for his meal.
All right, guys. Thanks, Ira. Thanks, Gene, Max, Ironwork, Sam. Well passed by. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. This is because I signing out, guys. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
All right, peace.